think we're live. We are officially good to go, up and running, tip-top shape, as they say across the pond. Tally ho, and henceforth, this is the Honored Ones podcast, the greatest podcast on earth. And yes, hello, the most punctual podcast of all time, literally of all time. Like we start not only at whatever time we set, right? But we start down to the 0th tenth of a second. That's how punctual we are, right? No other podcast is this punctual. So if I were you, right, and I was subscribed to a different podcast, and they weren't as punctual, I would simply unsubscribe, mute, block, report, do the whole thing. Because nobody, no other competition, hate calling them that, could ever hope to do what we do. And I think that is a legally factual statement, right? I think BR and I...
We're with tenth of a second. Sorry, I'm still stuck on that. That interesting unit of time you just made up. But yeah, ignoring the bumbling buffoon here before you. What is up, guys? What is up? What is up? What is up? Hope you guys are doing good on this fine Sunday afternoon. No JJK chapter, but still gonna have a lot of fun stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about JJK wise later on. We're gonna be bringing Liv on in a little bit after we kind of get through the first half of our episode here. She's gonna be talking about Blue Lock and JJK with us. Before that, though, we're gonna talk about My Hero. We're gonna talk about Fire Punch, and Kreams is gonna subject me to the horrors of the inner machinations of his mind by posing some hypothetical questions. So, yeah, a little bit of a a little bit of an interesting change up for the week. You know what I mean? Fire Punch, first time, or like I guess first foray into it for the book club. Got some thoughts on that. Interested in having that discussion. My Hero, I mean, we can just really jump right into that.
Yeah. Man, it is great seeing Stain again. My Hero's 400th chapter brought back the third goat.
Interesting. This My Hero chapter was like the first one I've been like very sort of apathetic to in a while. Unfortunately, the little like goat streak, it's not over. This chapter, I guess, wasn't horrible if you ignore Hagakure's whole dumbass gag thing, right? It's not the end of the world. Aoyama is, I guess, a character that exists.
Bro, the details on Stain's tongue in the second to last panel are disgusting.
Yeah, bro. He's a disgusting guy. A very gross individual. Let's see. M3D, thank you for the 2. So after JJK ends, we can slander Megumi freely. All right, so hold on. Let me take a screenshot of this real quick.
Oh, dude.
Sorry,
no.
buddy.
Bro, M3D. Dude, you know what? My headcanon now is that people are going to start slandering Megumi, like, on purpose as an excuse to make their, like, masterpiece Kreams joke to get that part in. And I'll be real, man. This is your fault that they're doing
You guys
this.
only get one pardon, by the way.
You just made that up. You just made that up. No,
that's fine.
You gotta let them.
No, I don't gotta let them do anything. I'm gonna be real with you. Don't ever tell me what I gotta let chat do again. You get one presidential pardon from me, all right? If you want to keep slandering him after that, that's fine. Hold this ban. Well, it depends. If your thing is really, really funny, or I like you, then I'll like fudge the rules like a real president would, right? But like, you know, otherwise. Yeah, you get one. Sleeping Danger, thank you for the 14. Kagura Bachi discussion, or is Kreams a fraud? I don't know if you read it. I certainly did, because obviously the main character had a sword. Locked in. Kreams, did you read that manga?
I've heard of it. I didn't read it.
I bet you didn't.
Buddy. No, anyways, my God, I'm not doing
gonna
this
lie,
with you, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, who cares if Kreams didn't read it, right? It's not like he would have any interesting input on that particular manga.
Disagree.
It was cool. Like, sword attacks go crazy, right? He said he literally said he wakes up, looks in the mirror to like get new hate every day. That shit was. It's funny because it's like so edgy, but like I'm also me, so I didn't dislike it in the slightest. I think the chapter is fine though. Like when you remove all sort of like jokes or like you're like you remove the sort of like gag of being like this is the best manga ever, blah blah. Like, it's fine.
But will it be one of Shump's new 3 pillars?
So yeah, like I was saying, it's okay. It's an okay first chapter. I think people jumping down its throat, being like, "Wow, this is the most garbage, trash bullshit I've ever seen in my life." Okay, y'all are kind of like y'all are pushing it. The people that are like, "Wow, this is truly a super in-depth character journey that we're about to see here." It's like, all right, maybe, but like the first chapter doesn't give us that. It's very, very okay, and that's fine. Like it's not illegal for a first chapter to be okay. I know a lot of people think it's gonna get axed, and shit, it might, right? I don't really care. I'm here to read it until it survives or gets axed. Like that's all it comes down to. Main
Uh,
character's got a sword and black hair. Like what else do you want from me? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's weird that it's the main character, not like the side character. C. Miller, thank you for the 5. Every time Kareem says something is funny, I brace myself because I know that shit will be disappointing. Rude. Rude.
Hey, bro, hold on. Who are you?
Rude.
Yeah, see Miller, I like you. See, buddy, you're an example of somebody who's
Rude.
just gotten in my good graces, bro. That's the type of comment. That's the type of comment that I like to see, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
I do
High
not.
five.
You have made an enemy.
Yeah, who cares? An enemy of Kreams is. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That shit just sounds funny to say. An enemy of Kreams.
No,
Like,
no,
all right, bro.
we don't have to do all that extra stuff.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyways,
honestly,
Mahoraga Neji, thank you for the 2. Stain versus Ghetto, Stain versus Toji, Stain versus Maito.
okay. Stain versus
Stain's
Get.
getting bopped.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you.
literally by all these guys. Stain versus Nanami would not go in his favor.
I'm gonna be real with you. Yes, it would. But like, you didn't hear that from me. No, I don't know. I don't know Stain scaling. I'm just saying stuff.
Because like he just seems like
Stain
a
wouldn't beat Mahito.
no.
I'll say that.
Yeah. You know,
And Toji probably not.
But you know what's funny?
Hmm.
What do you like if you were to do verse equalization? This isn't one of the hypotheticals, but if you were to do verse equalizations for a character like Mahito, do you look for something like their attacks would need to work regardless of the soul thing, or would you look for characters who can like also affect the soul in their own series and then have them
You have to affect the soul in your own series. Like,
so Mahito versus like a
yeah.
Bleach character, like no problem.
Yeah, Bleach character can hurt Mahito.
Right.
Like
Okay.
that they're doing that all the time. Like every fight they're in is like a demonstration of soul damage
yeah,
and shit like that.
Okay, but it's not like you put him up against like All Might or something, and it's like, whoa, All Might can see the outline of the soul or something.
Yeah, no, not really. You'd have to make kind of a weird argument. Someone said Mahito solo is Dragon Ball, and like obviously you're joking, but like Dragon Ball characters can hurt souls too, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Also, if there's
Dragon Ball characters can fight while they're dead people.
yeah,
So.
especially Goku, dude. If somebody was like Mahito versus Goku, and like they were being so like dead serious, I'd be like, okay, Goku has been dead like 3 times. He knows he can see souls.
Yeah, of course he can see souls and he can hit souls. We've seen him do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's see.
Solid
Oh
6
yeah,
out
so
of 10 chapter, by the way, for my hero.
yeah, very. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. Very, just middle of the road. Like Horikoshi, I need you to show me something next week, bro. I don't want to fall back into being apathetic for my hero chapters. I like looking forward to them. But yeah, very regular. Very regular. Moving into something that I guess at least I liked, manga wise, Fire Punch.
I also liked it.
I didn't say you didn't, buddy. I'm just not talking for you. You know what I mean? I'm speaking for myself.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, next time I'll make sure to like let the chat know what your opinions are. In fact, let me start talking about what you think about certain. No, I'm joking. I'll save that for later. But yeah, Fire Punch, very good, very good so far.
Good, yes.
We're 35 chapters in, and I'm really enjoying it.
I'm gonna be real with you, BR and chat, the collective. The first like 9 chapters were rough for me. Not like because they were bad, but because they're just so graphic that it like I got knocked back a little bit. I got some whiplash. The thing with the dogs, for example, that's a crazy thing to be blindsided by for me. All right, I know, not like super.
Weenie Hut Junior, yes sir, and that's you for real. Go ahead.
It just took me aback. All right, like is that so crazy? All right, the thing with the dogs.
Yeah.
Come on, bro, don't do this.
Yes, it is. You go to Weenie. Listen, bro, it's fine to go to Weenie Hut Junior. All right, like that's fine. SpongeBob did it too. You're fine. It's okay. You're just a weenie, and
Bro,
that's
I'm a
fine. You're a
salty
goofy goober.
Splatoon guy, all right?
No, you're not. But don't ever see that didn't even sound right coming out of your mouth, bro. I'm a salty spittoon guy. Shut up. Be nah, bro. You step on a Lego and you're folded for the rest of the day. All right, you're not a real
No, I'd be
salty
thinking.
spittoon goer.
No, I'd literally be thinking about it the entire week.
Hmm. Yeah.
Really? So
All
you
right.
just took the dog thing in stride. You're like, yeah, this is my normal manga reading experience.
See, look at you putting words in people's mouth. I didn't say that. Like, is it a strange thing? Is it like if this were to occur in real life, like, oh my god, it's horrifying. Yeah. But like I've also read Chainsaw Man and like I've read Fujimoto's one shots.
Same.
And I also read the first chapter of the damn manga, bro. Like I feel like once you read, okay, I'll put it like this. I think you're sort of like, at least where we are right now, your ability to be surprised really does kind of start not in end. Like you can be surprised whenever in the manga, right? Or be disgusted or be whatever. Who cares? That's
In the
not like I
beginning,
can't
yeah.
stop that.
Like
But like to
after
me,
the
once you see this guy, this little kid cut off his arm for like the villagers to eat, and then like he gets lit on fire and can't die, I'm like, all right, cool. You've set the tone, right? They're really so far with what Fujimoto's done. There's really not enough that can get me in that sort of like graphic sense. And to me,
like
Fujimoto also is very good at like sort of implying not implying like he
no,
pretty
he was
flat out says
very
it, but like
yeah.
what I mean, right, is that like if you take like a Miura, right? You use Berserk, for example,
Mhm.
you just see how the sausage is made, to use an analogy, right? Whereas with Fujimoto, and that to me is going to be hard to stomach no matter how many times he decides to draw a horse and some lady, right?
Mhm.
But like for me, when Fujimoto was like, okay, these tragedies are happening, but aside from violence, we don't really see all that much. To me, that's much easier to stomach. And like, I mean, I don't know. Chainsaw Man kind of feels like this is the guy who wrote Chainsaw Man. I kind of know what I'm getting into, personally speaking.
Look, I'll tell you, I think my expectation of Fujimoto is different from reading his other stuff. So for me, it was like really like shocking slash like graphic in the first like 8 to 9 chapters, right? Like when I was texting you. But then like the Fujimoto like Chainsaw Man isms kicked in for me as soon as fuck, what's her name? The regenerative blessed who's into making movies.
Director, that's what she
Yeah,
wants to be
okay,
called.
yeah. So when the director comes in, I'm like, okay, that's Fujimoto, right? Like then it's sort of like I sort of adjusted mentally and I was able to like really buy into it like I guess more peacefully because it
Mhm.
I look man, I'm not a big fan of like graphic violence, right? Contrary to the Batman conversation.
Yeah,
And
you a walking, talking something, bro. Contradiction is the word I was looking for.
uh anyway, so like it was very especially cuz like it was so jarring for me and like really intense. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put it on the hot dog hat. This is Weenie Hut Jr. I don't give a shit. All right? Big old weenie, right? Just flopping around in the wind. And
Hey, bro, rephrase. Jesus Christ,
no,
you're
bro, I'm gonna own it. All right. And like, I retreated back into the bun. Like, what can I say? Like, it was really really intense for me. Like good intense, right? Like, it was really well written. The art was great. And the characters are all really landed for me. And I think especially after I got past the initial shock, it was just like it was good. It was just really enjoyable. The fight scene on the snowmobile train thing or car thing was really awesome. The way that it's cut in narrative and in manga to like cut around the boring parts was just like really clever. I thought that was fucking sick. Um, and I really like Agni.
cool. I mean, I generally hold the same sentiments. I think you can sort of see a lot of elements in Fire Punch that like Fujimoto really likes to use, and then like he takes into Chainsaw Man. The manipulative, like I guess like older woman figure, sort of leading the main character by the nose and manipulating them and forcing them to play to their tune. I find it like to be a pretty interesting a trope done, or like a pretty interesting like commonality between the two. I'm not gonna lie, I may have to reread Chainsaw Man, right? I may be talking on my ass here, but like I'm liking Fire Punch's art more than I like Chainsaw
Yeah,
Man's art.
dude, I noticed
I'm
that
gonna be
too.
real
It
with you.
looked different, right? Like it looked
Yeah,
like
it's very much still Fujimoto, but it
it's
does come across like
it's more
uh
detailed. I don't know how to
yeah,
like.
I guess that would kind of be the word for it. There are some spreads where I'm like, damn, Fujimoto, I didn't know you
You
could
could try
like
that,
cook
yeah.
like this.
It really put in
Yeah.
perspective, I guess, like Fujimoto, like Chainsaw Man's aesthetic choices being, choices. Because I think
Mhm.
Fujimoto is like famously a self-taught artist, so it's pretty interesting to see his specific artistic evolution. Um, because this was supposed to be him like back when he was more of an amateur, and it seems like not better, right? But like different, like in a way that's more traditional. That's the word I'm looking for, traditional.
Oh shit, I'll say better. I like it more. I'll put it like that. I like this art more personally.
I
But
don't know.
it's
Like
not a
I
it's
also
not a
include
knock towards Chainsaw Man.
I also include paneling in that. Like for me,
I
peak
agree.
Fujimoto paneling is like Goodbye Eri. Like for me personally,
Hmm.
and then probably Chainsaw Man, and then this. Um, it's definitely better than 17 to like 2023. Those editions of his like early works, right? So I don't know. Fire Punch seems like it was almost written by an entirely different mangaka at some points.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I like it a lot. I think it's interesting because I've heard bad things about Fire Punch's like ending or whatever. So it may be sort of like an inverse thing. Um, but I think Fire Punch has a much more gripping start in some like a consistently gripping start, right? Like I think Denji, obviously great character. I like Denji more than I like Agni, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right
Same,
now,
yeah.
because he's more of a complete character, whatever, at least where we're at.
Also, Denji's more
But
relatable as fucking nuts. I was gonna say relatable. Oh my god. Understandable. Um, what's a word like relatable, but like not
I
exactly.
mean, being here's the thing, you can relate to Denji's character, right? Like
Right,
you
but
don't have to relate to him being a horny, just like yeah, he his dreams, like the pursuit of
not
those
even that. But
things,
like
like all
also
of that.
everything that happens to him is like so tragic, so it feels like it's not. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah, man, Agni really living that nice life for real.
yeah. Took him what 8 years to get used to the flames.
Yeah, bro. Amateur hour, right? Like, come on, bro. I do it in four, bare
Bro,
minimum. Hey, like, can we talk? Can we talk?
what do you think of like the way Fujimoto draws power systems or like writes power systems? Because the one in Fire Punch is very similar to Chainsaw Man's in that like the abilities just
People
sort
just
of
have
yeah,
powers.
people just have powers. This seems to be more scientific than like supernatural, like with Chainsaw Man, but it still kind of operates in a very similar manner where Fujimoto's just like the powers are like there to move the story along.
I'm fine with that. Like, I think it's just Fujimoto writes um in a way that like favors that. So, like, he would not write a good Jujutsu Kaisen,
Mm-hmm.
but he writes a good Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch is basically how I'd put it, right?
Right.
These characters, I don't need to like know the intricacies of like how they circulate their energy through their body and blah 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 blah, because that's not what Fujimoto's trying to do. These things facilitate conflict, and the conflict is mainly just an externalization of what's happening inside of the characters, which is duh every manga ever,
Mm-hmm.
right? But like a lot of it is just like, dude, Agni's power is like regenerating, and
Yeah.
he's just on fire. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not anything particularly special.
Yeah. I will
And
say it
I'm
is.
completely fine with that.
Yeah, the regeneration is really sick though. It's not like quite Deadpool level to me. I feel like it's still a little slow. Um, at least maybe once he gets the hang of it, right? Maybe by the end of the series, he might like be around that level. But it's still crazy. His regen. The fire is what's impressing me more. To be honest with you, the fire's nuts in Fire Punch. Like the second it touches what was it, the guy in like with the iron suit, one of the prisoners, dude, it was like an instant win. And like the second Agni got like tossed into a random building, it was like is the manga over in like 5 chapters? What is like? It felt like at the end of a major story battle. You know what? It had like final arc energy to that fight. I
You
don't know
think
if you got
so?
the same impression.
Not really, but like I do think that he was able to Fujimoto was really good at capturing scope and scale. Cough cough, Gege, look at Fire Punch, cough cough. I didn't say that, bro. You can't prove that. But anyways, okay, the long and short of it is I like Fire Punch quite a bit. I think I don't know, man. I'm not really having any issues with it so far. I think it's pretty coherent.
Mm-hmm.
I think Agni's a compelling main character. I think the director is like a kind of a compelling
Side character,
sort
like
of
supporting. Yeah.
like uh, she's dragging him along in a way that I find to be interesting. The Ice Witch not existing but existing is something I'm definitely looking forward to being
Mm. Oh,
explored and explained.
the whole like worshippers god thing was pretty neat.
Yeah. I like I like a lot of like Agni's sort of internal monologuing when he's asking himself why he's alive or like
Mm.
what the point what is like the purpose, right? If the
Yeah.
purpose was being alive for his sister and that's gone, right? Okay, what is it now? And it's sort of like continuously looking for that. Fujimoto does to me, there are a lot of things that about Fire Punch that are very, very obviously similar to Chainsaw Man. Even a ton of characters having like really high levels of regeneration and things of that nature, akin to things like devils or fiends,
Mm.
is something that I find pretty similar. Fujimoto, to me, it definitely has like the Fujimoto like fingerprint on it,
Mm.
but I don't mind that at all. Considering, I mean, I like his work.
Yeah. Do you how do you feel about like the first 35 chapters of Fire Punch? I don't know if you
Like
remember.
rating it.
Yeah, not even rating it, but like I guess compared to something like Chainsaw Man or like a similar series you've read, because you're not you obviously like it, right? But I don't think you're gushing either, right? Is that fair? Is that like a fair read on your
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
so like
Yeah.
did you feel it in Chainsaw Man, like around the same? Because like I think Chainsaw Man kind of hit the ground running pretty much right away. I think what would happen? I vaguely remember what happened by chapter 35.
Anki's cutting up the snake devil, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, the one that killed
So were you?
yeah, it's snake devil.
Yeah. So.
No, I think Fire Punch has a much better start personally.
Mm,
I think probably if I just had to guess, right, if I have the opinion of other like that is the general sentiment on other people,
mm,
Fire Punch will have a better start but worse ending, and Chainsaw Man will have like a slower start but like a better conclusion. That's just assuming that the general sort of argument or the general sort of sentiment that I've seen other people have towards Fire Punch is true.
oh, I did not know
So
about
we'll
all
see.
that. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I personally like Fire Punch quite a bit. Where I'm at right now, I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
7.5 sounds like good. It's engaging. I really do appreciate that about Fujimoto. Like it's always there's no like fluff or anything.
Yeah, so I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it right now. So that's good. Let's go through these super chats real
Mm,
quick though. Hugh is him. Thank you for the 2. Gojo's gonna eat Sukuna's finger. It will be. Thank you for the 2.
thank you
I
for the
don't
two.
know if I agree, but thank you for the 2. Sleeping Danger. Thank you for the 14. Uncle Iroh versus Maito. Bro,
Bro, why are you trying to
Mahi.
like?
Yeah, what you trying to do to Uncle Iroh for
Yeah.
real? Like,
What did
what
he
are we
do to
doing
you?
here? Yeah, Maito wins, but like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Baki versus Kang and Ashura. Baki. Um, let's
Keishkin, thank you
see.
for
Yeah, like,
being a member for a month. Oh yeah, did you want to go into a whole thing?
no. I was just gonna say it's not even close.
Mm,
Not a very close thing.
gotcha.
But yeah.
Um, where was I? Oh,
Kishkin, thank you for being a member for a month. Saw the stream of Tester and BR doing the Gaslight competition, and it was funny as fuck. Should be a frequent feature on Honor Ones alongside Johnny. Hey, listen, we'll talk about it with Tester behind the scenes. But yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
mm,
Appreciate you being a member for a month, and glad you liked that stream.
appreciate it.
Let's see, M3D, thank you for the 2. Which isms kicked in, Creams? Do tell.
I don't
Yeah, do
recall
tell,
saying
buddy.
isms.
Yeah, buddy. Apparently, like at the beginning of your Fire Punch, when you were talking about being a weenie, basically. But anyways, let's see. Mahoraga Neji,
Yeah.
thank you for the 2. Takaba versus JJK verse. JJK.
Yeah.
Takaba versus Slime verse.
What? Are you?
I think that goes to you,
What?
buddy. Go nerd
Dude.
out.
Okay. the reincarnated as a slime verse would literally solo like 99% of fictional universes. Like, it's not even no. It's not even worth entertaining. I'm sorry.
Bro said I can't explain it, but it just is.
Like, it's not
Fair
even
enough.
like, okay. I'll put it to you like this, right? Um, there is when Rimuru gets like, God, how do I explain this without like getting so into the weeds? The really short answer is video game plus magic kind of rules, and it's like, God, basically that they just have like every superpower ever. That's the long and skinny of it.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Angel of Access, thank you for the 2. Can I be part of the podcast? No.
Um.
Ashberry, and thank you for the
Yeah.
5.
Also, Angel of Access. I'm still waiting on that
Creams.
fan fiction. It's
I'm pretty sure he's like multiple things in. But Ash Barryon, thank you for the 5. Creams, Ghetto, Friesen, Uncle
oh
Ruckus
my
all start a
god.
Twitter account at the
Oh my
same time. Who
god.
gets kicked off first? Creams, because he'll delete his tweets before like they get found to well, not before they get found. I always find them, right? But he'll delete them before like he gets like banned for them. So Creams won't get banned first. Um I think Ghetto would though. I think Ghetto would
I think
for
Uncle
sure.
Ruckus. Although they might have a hard time with Uncle Ruckus because like they'll probably have like a dialogue about like if they should even be allowed to.
That's what I said. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, Ghetto doesn't really have the benefit. You ban Frieza, you're dying. So it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
same thing could be said with Ghetto. It's just a much easier thing for Frieza. Um, let's see. Let's see.
Mahoraga. Oh,
Another
yeah.
question for you.
Mahoraga Neji reincarnated as a slime verse versus Bleach verse. Besides Yuha, Aizen, and Ichigo, even then, probably the slime verse. Like, bro, it's not even like I'm trying to gas them up. Like, okay, the strongest character in I got reincarnated as a slime, right? Like a functioning character, right? Not like a passive entity or whatever, is literally God. And not like God like
So
in the
you
way
are,
no,
bro.
not like God in like the same way Yuha is, with the Almighty like giving him like God like no, they're just omnipotent, right? It's not just all seeing that like has a cause and effect. No, they're just God. Like that's it. there's no weakness. They are just God.
Yeah, every story says that, buddy. Who cares? Show me a band. Nah, but cops coming for Creams as always. Bleach gets negged, probably. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. Once you start comparing like real manga to like light novel stuff, I mean,
It's
the light
insane. Yeah.
novels likely are probably gonna win. Um, but yeah, let's see. Let's see. All right, so we knocked out Fire Punch, we knocked out My Hero. Now this gets us into the fabled and
Yes.
feared Cream hypothetical
Okay, dude,
question.
I'm excited. All right, so if y'all saw the last episode of the members only stream, I think that went up like yesterday, with Yuji versus the Grasshopper. You guys should watch the point 0.5 episodes. They're fucking crazy. They're
Hmm.
awesome. We do all our bangers there. One of the things we discussed was Baki, right? Our shared love for the series. And I had this hypothetical inspired by a comment we got under that episode, which was like, if Yujiro had cursed energy, right? What technique would he get? Like what technique would you give him? You could even make one up of your own if you think that'd be more fitting for him. B, um, even without cursed energy, right? Like, because I know we alluded to it. I've been thinking about it. How would he beat Sukuna? He
He
would.
would just hit him. He would just hit him. That's it. He would
You,
just hit him until he
you think
dies.
he's just
Like,
tanking Malevolent Shrine for like? Because I think he can. My theory would be like if Yujiro ever got caught up in Malevolent Shrine, right? He would find a way to flex his muscles to be like slash proof or whatever, and be like, no, actually, Yujiro's practicing the same martial art the ancient Egyptians use to
I'm
stop
gonna,
bleeding.
so I'm gonna be real with you, right?
Mm,
So like, there is one condition in which like Sukuna, I guess, and like Gojo survives off like infinity, whatever.
mm,
That's how he survives all his fights because
all
he's
right.
kind of like not that strong outside of it.
Mm,
But like, if you think that because Sukuna and like Gojo outscale Yuki, because like obviously they do,
mm,
right? And they have the potential for like planetary level attacks, like AP wise, then yeah, maybe Yujiro's getting cut in half, right? But if you don't think that, and you think they're more like if you're like more conservative with their scaling and you like scale them to other characters or like feats that we've seen in the verse, which are much less impressive than planetary, I'll tell you that, right?
Mm.
Then Yujiro just, I'm not gonna lie, there's never a domain expansion getting off. He just blitzes Sukuna, right,
Mm.
and removes his head from his
He
body.
literally would.
It's just
He could do it
it's
too.
just like
Yeah.
it's not like a really in-depth, it's a close battle. It's just Yujiro apparently can survive nuclear explosions, right?
Right. And he can
Baki can
punch.
punch
Yeah.
at the speed of light. Yujiro at least scales to Baki, right? So Yujiro just moves at the speed of light, hits him with a nuclear powered punch, and then we just call it a day.
Bro,
Like that's just what happens.
dude, I love that fight he had with Baki. Like I think the first Yujiro versus Baki fight. After like like when he threw him out the building, and they're fighting like in front of the massive crowd. Okay,
Hmm.
so I love that fight because from the outside looking in, right? Like if you're one of the spectators looking upon the Baki versus Yujiro fight, they're just like going at it at like really high speeds in martial arts, but like the shockwave of the punch isn't like destroying the entire area, right? It's not like on some Shibuya shit, right? And I started thinking, doesn't that imply that the AP is like way lower than that of something like JJK, right? And that's when it hit me. Baki and Yujiro are just eating the full force of the attack. Like each attack they give each other, like there's nothing left to be dispersed. like
That's such a dumb fucking thing
like
to say, but like
like
I don't know,
what do you
maybe.
like? Okay, because like otherwise you shouldn't be. Nobody can get in close, right? Especially if they're fighting at that like level. If it's like oh he's punching
I
Yujiro
mean,
at like
okay.
Mach 50, or you know what I mean?
I'll put it like this. It's the same reason you can have someone like fucking Bulma watch a Dragon Ball fight, man. It just is the case. Like they can just do it. No one would question Dragon Ball characters being able to blow up planets past the Saiyan saga. But like I mean, Bulma could still like fucking watch, I don't know, like two characters go at it in Dragon Ball Super or something, and be like, wow, the wind's really strong. Meanwhile, these characters are hitting hard enough to like blow up a universe each time. It's just like it doesn't happen for the sake of convenience, and that's where like the AP versus like destructive capacity thing. Cause like it's a whole like fucking set of nerdy shit, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
just like
Yeah, because like
okay,
okay, my like this is all really just to answer like the discrepancy of like how do you scale some people like Baki and Yujiro, especially at their like peak, and comparing them to like the AP output of somebody like people like in JJK, right? The only like time they ever let like go all out is with each other,
mhm.
so it makes it a little hard to like apply to the same amount of punishment to other characters. But if you have even people who are, God, relatives fucking crazy in Baki talking about the Hanmas, but like somebody like Biscuit Oliver talking about like, damn, bro, I wouldn't be able to like survive that shit. It's like, what exactly,
Yeah.
like the dress, right? Like being spun around like a nunchuck, right? Obviously, that's
Mhm.
doing damage to Baki. However, how much more damage would it be doing if you're not Baki Hanma? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you would turn into um
Paste.
vapor.
Yeah.
You would turn into blood and like body vapor. Like that's just what I don't know. That's just what would
I
happen.
don't know.
Let me read the super chats real
Okay.
quick. Hold on, because some of these are kind of funny. So
Mm.
Ashburn, thank you for the two. Can Ronan get Creams to read Percy Jackson? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I want him on my series like that, but he's also legally obligated to, so I don't need to do any work.
Yeah.
That'll happen eventually. It's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah.
M3D, thank you for the 5. From a storytelling perspective, would you all say Yuji fits the chosen one archetype from being Sukuna's vessel, or maybe a subversion of it?
Probably a subversion.
I mean, I guess like a subversion. He's
He's not,
chosen for
he's
something,
cursed
right?
rather than chosen. He's I think cursed child kind of.
That's
That's
Yuta,
that's
but like,
Yuta, but
yeah,
like yeah, it's funny that it's Yuta considering like I'd argue Yuji has like a harder thing to go with to deal with.
yeah.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
I guess it's just Yuta's thing is literally like he cursed himself. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I think that's why he goes with that naming structure. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I mean he's chosen to be the vessel of Sukuna, but he's not chosen like in the sense that you would think your chosen one is meant to defeat blah 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 blah, right? In
Mm.
fact, he's kind of like looked down on as like a very useless pot for a really strong guy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's his purpose in the story. At least like he's predestined one. King Nija, thank you for the 5. Dog, isn't Baki a martial arts series? What the fuck is this I'm hearing about nukes?
Oh
Yeah, so
boy.
like
Who's gonna tell
two
him?
things. I'll put it like this, right? One, Dragon Ball was once a martial arts series, right? So I'll say it like that.
Mm.
And two, yeah, so like countries across the planet are actually unable to fuck with Yujiro.
Yeah, specifically,
Um,
they can't even treat him like a hostile nation because that's actually underestimating how powerful he is. Like the United States enters a pact of friendship with Yujiro every 4 years. They have to like renew a fucking subscription. So Yujiro doesn't like destroy it.
Yeah, and I think they clarify that like yeah, it's even nukes are in effect.
Yeah.
Like we can't just nuke the city he's in. It doesn't matter. It's like okay, fine, I guess. I mean, this guy punches hard enough to stop earthquakes.
Mm.
Baki has a jab that moves at light speed. I mean, like
Yeah.
these motherfuckers are reading each other's minds while reading each other's minds while reading each other's minds in
And
battle.
they can shadow, like they could use like imagination to shadow fight, like with stands, and take real damage. My favorite feat is from Yujiro, who has the ability to see. He has X-ray vision, like just like almost canonically. He was able to like diagnose all of Baki's
Not gonna
injuries.
lie, bro. You're downplaying his vision.
I actually am.
X-ray vision
Like,
is crazy.
bro, it's
He
actually
just sees
crazy.
the weaknesses in all
All right, bro, I'm
things.
gonna make a crazy claim. Yujiro's eyes are better than the six eyes.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. Let's be real, bro. The Six Eyes are not that strong eye powers in an anime general context. Let's
So
be honest.
how do you rank Yujiro vision? Like you get
Uh,
Yujiro's like perception abilities.
Yujiro's perception abilities, huh? I mean, like, I guess I'll be happy. I don't know if I care about seeing the weaknesses in people. I guess I'll go to like some hospitals or some shit and be like, hold on,
No, but it's more
doctor.
finely tuned, right? Because he
I
can
know
see the individual cancer cells before they're malignant.
Sure, right? And I'll be like, all right, let's start. Hey, go to a clinic real quick. All right. Something tells me you need to go. That's gonna sound crazy, but like low key, I'll save your life. All right, just trust me. I don't know, man. I mean, Yujiro's eyes, I guess, can maybe see more than the six eyes. Crazy statement, maybe. But
Yeah.
like, I also don't care to have them. I guess, like, if I were a doctor, right,
Mm.
that shit is like, that's it. That's almost all you need. But I'm not. But yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting that you'd. Sorry, I just like he gave Baki like a full body exam in like a second after fighting him, and he was just like, oh well, crushed mandible, crushed solar plate. Like, bro, what the fuck? Why does he
That's me.
like?
How far? I think I'd make it in Baki. What the fuck?
I think
Didn't I just tell you these
yeah.
guys punch earthquakes? Like,
Actually, we
I'm
did
sorry.
answer that last episode. So I think go check that out.
Mm.
Because I think the challenge was if you had Hanayama level potential, which character in Baki could you beat with whatever time? And to quote BR, he would literally need to get God in the ring to fight Yujiro with him.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. 100%. Let's see. Plexi tier. Thank you for the 2. I'd pay to see you'll make a new Jump Force roster. I don't know. Doesn't sound like a horrible idea. I could probably cook something up. Less One Piece characters. I'll tell you that.
I would
But
actually do
yeah,
more. Like I know you're joking, but like I would do more
I'm
One Piece
not.
characters because,
Jesus
dude,
Christ.
Devil Fruits are so fucking cool. They're so
Yeah.
cool.
So Plexi tier, don't pay me and him, just pay me. This motherfucker's trying
Bro,
to make
you can't just
an
replace them
F
with
tier
Naruto
roster.
characters, bro. Like
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
I
Listen,
heard it in your
sorry to
voice.
say I'm sorry to say this to someone who's like barely watched like 3 anime. There are more series than like One Piece and Naruto, buddy. All right. Oh, and more than Dragon Ball too. So, you know.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, yeah. So is that
Yeah.
yeah,
So
cool.
the curse technique
Baki
thing
really strong.
for Yujiro.
Curse.
You didn't answer.
I don't know, man.
Uh,
Absolute cancel. He just fucking walks near people and their curse techniques don't work anymore.
I have one. No curse technique. If you just gave him like a basic cursed energy buff to his abilities, that's crazy.
I mean, it doesn't change anything to me. Like
It makes things
the thing,
significantly easier. Like if you gave him like a simple domain, it's over.
I guess so. I just think it's over regardless. I just think the only person that survives is like maybe Mahito if you think Yujiro. Pretty sure Yujiro saw like his dead dad's soul
Oh
though.
yeah,
Like,
and he
so I
and
don't know. I'm not sure.
yeah, and actually he's able to resist that damage. And huh,
Maybe he's bullying Mahito
yeah,
too. But like Gojo's the only person, and that doesn't change if you don't give him a curse technique. Like if you just give him curse energy, it's the same result.
yeah.
Yujiro with a heavenly restriction sounds actually disgusting.
Disgust. Like, why would you do that to everybody
Yeah.
else, bro? You know, it's funny. My favorite. I don't. It's such an underrated ability for Yujiro. He just adapts instantly. Um, like not on some Mahoraga. I need 4 or 5. No, he's just like, wait, okay, I got it, and then that's it. You just
Yep.
mastered your martial art.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I
Oh,
guess it's an interesting hypothetical.
yeah. You want to throw one out before I give you the second one?
Oh, there's a second one, bro.
Yeah, bro.
No, I don't have a hypothetical.
Oh,
No hypotheticals for me.
R89. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. Doesn't Ronan have perception vision? Because he can see the weakness in Creams. All right. Let's
I
cut
just
out the
have basic
nonsense.
functioning eyes, bro. I'm gonna be real. Creams is a walking weakness. Like, can we be honest for a second? Um, let's see. Oh damn. Okay. ZX4, thank you for the 5. What do you think about the post Musashi story for Baki? Is it lacking or nah? I don't even think I've read post Musashi content for Baki. I'm not really caught up like that. I don't know how
Same.
much has happened since.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is that with the sumo? If that's with the sumo, then like yeah, I've seen all of that, and that's fine. I guess that's whatever.
Mm.
But I don't know if I'm going to Baki for like poignant storytelling. I'm gonna be
I
real.
mean, look, bro. It's just a normal thing between father and son. What are you talking about?
For sure. Let's see. Mozane, thank you for the 10. Thank you for your first super chat.
Mhm.
A little scenario for y'all. If Megumi got off Mahoraga summon, would Sukuna be able to take him out and take over Megumi before Maki shows up? No. If in 1 minute, I don't think, and you can't harm anyone. No, I don't think so. I don't think that would have worked. Um, Personally speaking, I
Uh,
think it would have taken Sukuna too long. If Mahoraga gets summoned, shit probably does not pan out the same way necessarily. I
mm,
can't see it. Because like Angel got up almost immediately after Sukuna took over, right?
yeah.
So then you're just gonna have Angel be like, "What the fuck? Well, hold on, Sukuna's here and I didn't know about it. All right, forget Jacob's ladder," and then he's just gonna be stun locked for a little bit. And because it's not Megumi, she's probably not gonna stop either.
Yeah.
Like she's not like she's not gonna care. She's just gonna kill both of them, which going to be honest with you, for the sake of the universe, it might not have been the worst possible scenario. Sorry, Yuji, but you were planning on dying anyway. Um,
Wait. So, I think I'm misunderstanding the scenario. It's Megumi gets his body back and then summons Mahoraga.
no, it's when Megumi tries to summon Mahoraga when Sukuna comes out, it's
Right.
if he summons him, right? And Sukuna doesn't stop that. Is Sukuna able to get the job done before the minute's over? And I'm arguing no. I
Probably not.
think
Yeah.
so.
No.
I think Megumi's gonna get bashed in the head across the city or
Mm,
whatever, right? So he's gonna be like, shit. And
mm,
then yeah, Maharaga's not a problem, but like even if he brings out the fire arrow immediately, I think Angel's gonna be like, all right, well I'm up now, right?
yeah.
Hi. Hello. Jacob's ladder. So no.
Yeah. But
Um
also, I don't think Sukuna would be able to fight back. Right. Like.
Maybe well it depends. It depends if Yuji thinks Maharaga's a person. That's kind of the issue. I doubt that he looks at like I doubt he gives Mahoraga personhood, but it
Mm,
also doesn't matter. I don't know if I think Sukuna's just like fucking bodying. No, don't get me wrong. Could he one shot Mahoraga? Yeah, duh, right?
mm,
But could he one shot Mahoraga and then get away from Angel?
yeah.
All before he force feeds Megami a finger. I don't know. I don't
And
know
that's yeah,
personally.
that's a lot to do in a minute.
Yeah.
Especially if like after the initial shock, they're like ready for him.
Yeah, I mean Maki and Takaba were both pulling up too, right?
Yeah.
And it's like and he can't hurt them. So it's like if they all pull up and say the minute is still not out, Maharaga's been destroyed, fine, whatever. You gonna tell me he's fighting Maki? He's not getting past Maharaga, Angel, Maki, Takaba, and then feeding an unconscious Megami a finger in 60 seconds. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Well, Angels. Okay, so to answer that, hello. First of all, I don't have a grudge against Yuji. Yuji's a goat.
Mm.
Some days I would even call it my goat, right? But like the thing with Angel is she can separate him because he just incarnated, right?
Yeah.
Sukuna's been in Yuji for a while,
Yeah, and
bro.
also Yuji's
Right?
like specifically suited, like made for that purpose, right? It's not like with Megumi where there was he's a good vessel, but Sukuna still needed to like wear him in, for lack of a better phrase, with the bath and killing Yorozu. Uh,
Mhm.
Whereas with Yuji, it's like, nah, I mean that's just sort of like his prison cell.
Yeah. Yep.
um,
Hold on. Got a
Mahoraga
new thing for the creams thing. All right, go ahead, continue.
Mahoraga Neji, thank you for the two. Sosuke Aizen versus Beerus. I have no. I'll be totally frank with you, right? I have no idea how to put Dragon Ball characters in like versus battles that aren't with like gods, right? Sosuke Aizen is up there. Don't get me wrong. Big old Aizen meat muncher. He's right there with me, right? Got my back. Like I have his. Um, probably,
Give
prob.
me $20 and I can argue that Aizen wins.
It,
But yeah,
it's
I mean,
like okay. I'll put it to you like this.
you have to lie. You have to be a little bit ratty, right? But there's
Yeah,
not like no argument for
exactly.
it.
I'll put it to you like this, right? Aizen can never drop Kyoka Suigetsu, like ever, like literally ever. And he could run away, and I would count that as a victory.
Run away. Let's see. Yeah, so thank you for the two.
Mm.
King Nigel, thank you for the five. After doing some digging, streets are saying the Baki narrator is goaded. So tell me, JJK's narrator versus
Baki.
Baki's. Um,
It,
you're high off your
no,
fucking rocker. I'm gonna be real with
actually,
you.
no, hold on.
You're
Let me redo that.
dragging it.
Let me redo that, right? Baki's narrator has a different function than like all these other narrators, right? Baki's narrator is why Baki's even coherent. Like it's not so much about him dropping bars, it's more him like guiding you through this insane world. Whereas with JJK, it's just about the bars. Like, sure, there's some like guidance and explanations here and there, but like, he's not like,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like
yeah,
JJ, there is no. I don't think there's like you don't have a hard lineup of like all the bullshit that like JJK's narrators have said in Baki. Like it says a lot. The
mm,
narrators use significantly more, but
yeah,
in terms of like just like a oh shit that's hard, Baki
yeah,
doesn't have as many of those.
no,
There are some,
yeah,
not as many
not
though.
as many. And that's crazy considering like the volume of Baki narrator, compared to JJK. Um, he just doesn't have as many bangers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Baki's
yeah, yeah.
narrator is there as like a chaperone.
Yeah. All right. You want to get your last hypothetical out before we bring Liv on?
Sure. Okay, all right. This one's gonna be a little quirky, so just bear with me, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pick a series.
Your hypothetical is me picking a series.
It'll work. I just want you to like have some control here. Pick a series.
All right, go ahead and give me JJK, buddy. Let's stick to the basics.
Can't pick. We already did JJK.
Oh my God, bro. I don't know. Give me Hunter x Hunter.
Okay. So the Hunter x Hunter Gauntlet. All right.
Oh Jesus
Now
Christ.
let me give you the specs. All right. You get to pick your own Nen ability. However, the amount of Nen caps out at like, let's say Killua level, right?
Mm,
At like his peak in the story, right?
sure.
You got to do the entire gauntlet. Now, obviously, Meruem and Netero is not happening. Duh, right? Can you, like, who is the strongest character you personally think you could face over how many years?
Give me Godspeed, and I'm taking out the Phantom Troop. That's where I'm capping out.
That's insane.
I don't want to fight Hisoka though.
I've,
Like just the Phantom Troop, the real ones. Like I'm not even saying I don't think I could. I just don't want to. Like I just don't even want to. I don't want to like even approach like go down that road. I'm gonna be real.
nah,
Um,
you wouldn't want to be trapped somewhere with Hisoka, even if you could beat him.
yeah, no. Go ahead and give me Godspeed. Right. Thank you. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay, what's
I'll
your
take that.
like? How many years before you think you're ready to take on the Phantom Troop? Because Killua's not ready. He's not taking on the Phantom Troop right now.
I'm gonna
Um,
be real with you. He's taking on most of them.
he's
Um,
not as a
he's
group,
blitzing
and
them and burning their souls. I'm gonna be honest. He showed us the way with fucking what he did with what's his name, Poof. Yeah, Poof. Yeah, that's that's the butterfly wing one, right?
yes, it is. I'm just realizing that I don't have the constitution to talk about Hunter x Hunter with you, and I made a grave mistake here. Okay, hypothetical over. I can't bear this anymore.
Thank God. All right, Liv, we're bringing you on here.
You've been summoned.
Mm, yeah. Cool.
Damn, bro, you got in so
It's
quickly.
him again. Yeah, because I started the call genius.
Because it's really cool,
But yeah.
genius.
Did somebody say Hunter
All
x
right.
Hunter?
Silence.
Uh,
Live.
It's-
Interesting. Hold on, chat. Just to open this up.
Oh my god.
Just so you guys know, a woman spoke on stream for the first time in probably several months, and his first response was silence.
Oh my god.
So he's a misogynist on top of being a raging racist.
You know, there were some funny ones in chat that you missed. I was gonna point them out to you to be nice, but now
You
know,
think you thinking that I don't address something means I missed it and it didn't just go in the Discord is funny. But yeah, continue.
I mean, look, bro, I believe in you.
Here,
Well,
how
one
about
of
this?
them
How
was
about I drop
mine.
some on Twitter? How about I drop some on Twitter to show you the ones I didn't miss?
Whoa, which ones?
No, I got you. I'll just show you on Twitter. Just
No,
look at the feed,
no,
right?
but,
No,
like,
just look at the
let's-
feed and just look at the feed. Just look at my Twitter, right? And you will see some examples of some chats I didn't miss. Do you wanna proceed this, or do you want to like drop the point maybe? I'm cool with either one.
I would like to drop the point.
Okay, cool. So cool. So how about we introduce our guests like a proper podcast, and we stop doing this tomfoolery, okay?
Okay. Chat, this is Liv. You know her. All right. So that's I think that's a pretty good intro.
I can
Yeah, you
introduce
can-
myself actually.
Mhm.
See, I have a voice. I'm
Oh
a
my
woman,
God.
but I actually have a voice. Believe it or not, like it's this really really thing. Yo, I'm the Kogane. So, we gonna talk about Hunter x Hunter or like
Okay, Liv. So I have about like 60 I have like 6 minutes worth of like stamina to deal with somebody talking about Hunter x Hunter in my presence.
oh,
So
in your presence.
yes. Now if it was One Punch Man, obviously this would be I would be in the hospital trying to endure that.
I'd be in the hospital trying to talk about One Punch Man 2, bro. That's just garbage. let's speak on it, bro. Let's speak on it. Nah, but like, I'm personally, I think we should continue talking about Hunter x Hunter till the end of time, till the end of the podcast, in fact. But first, let's talk about two good series, or at least one of them, because one of the chapters that came out this week that I kind of was interested in seeing your guys' thoughts on. Kreams, you skimmed it, right? But like Blue Lock's newest chapter, and it's not a joke. Blue Lock's newest chapter, right?
Iori goat.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying. Only in Blue Lock could glazing be made cool. I'm gonna be real with you.
I wouldn't go that far. That's crazy.
Hiyori
Bro,
really
what is
showed
the
Ness how
difference?
to glaze.
What is the difference between Hiyori and Ness? Nothing. Meat munchers, riders, eaters, connoisseurs.
Competence.
Yeah, literally.
I
One of
mean-
them has metavision and the other doesn't.
Literally
that?
half of Kaiser's goals belong to Ness. Just
Literally, no, they
Belong
don't.
to Ness. Yeah,
Um,
he uses Ness, and Ness is aware of that. He's
Listen,
just a pawn on
you
his
asked for a
board.
difference, right? One of them has metavision. There you go, buddy.
Silence.
Yeah. And one of them didn't get shat on after talking shit to Isagi about like how he could only use one leg. So
we really doing
there's
this
also that.
for a whole other hour, huh? So look at that.
Yeah, we are. You don't have to be here actually. Like me and Liv can take over if you don't want to. But like,
I actually,
if
you
you
say
like
that,
to stick, if
but, like,
you'd like to stick around,
I actually
then
do
that's
need
cool.
to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Cool. Great. All right. So, Liv, you can't talk about Bara, right? Restricting that ability. But like aside from that, what do you think about Blue Lock?
Okay, hang on, but can I like piggyback off of what you said with a borrow statement? Like, never have I ever seen glazing be so cool. Like, I kid you not, for the past 4 chapters, it's been nothing but borrow praise, and that goal happened like a while ago now. Like, Baro has really brought his team together. Hiyori's commented on it. Kaiser's commented on it. He's playing defense. That is insane to me. I mean, Lorenzo's been playing with his tongue out constantly now. That's beautiful.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I just had to excel all the reluctant Baro acknowledgement. But yeah, Baro's he's playing defense, the pinnacle of teamwork. But no, further, I really like this chapter for Hiyori. I was telling you this when we just read the chapter outright, but it is very fun to have a character because we see this sometimes. Like Nico's kind of like this with like, I'm an egoist, but I love just shutting down strikers, right? That's my new thing. That's what I'm into right now. That's my vibe. But Hiyori being like, listen, I don't really care about being the best in the world, but I care about you being the best in the world. So that's what I'm dedicating shit to. I kind of like that. I like it. Crazy glaze, but like it's also cool. What can I say?
Well, okay, so let me play a little bit of devil's advocate for Hiyori and try and twist this so it's, I don't know, maybe more on him with the shine, but the idea of the key, like he has the key to unlock Isagi, like that imagery is really cool, but it's not just the key to unlock Isagi. That's the very first time that he's ever wanted to do something on the field for himself. Like he had that little flashback to Karasu and the little pep talk that Karasu gave him. And I don't know, it's you can't really call what Hiyori's doing servitude. He has his own metavision. He has his own drive. It's just that drive happens to be propelling somebody else. Like he's best at unlocking people.
See, Prince Man. So two things. One, Coco's crib, and I think somebody else mentioned it that like Hiyori is very much like Reo, um, in the sense that they're both like they both exist to make the person that they see the most potential in shine, and I like that, and that makes sense because I like Reo too. So it kind of makes sense. Like they're both. It's sort of like if you have ability on your own, or even if you're just not a hateable character. Like part of the reason there's a difference between Ness and Hiyori is just Ness is very dislikable. His attitude towards, I mean, basically everything is just kind of hard to stand. Whereas Hiyori is a much more calm type of person, or at least has been calm up to this point. So there's very much more of a neutral or even like positive attitude towards anything Hiyori does. And I feel the same way kind of about Reo. I think being good at your job, even without Nagi, makes you existing for the sake of like helping Nagi not feel as like weird or as like you're piggybacking off of him. It feels very much like Reo needs Nagi, but Nagi also needs Reo, right? Like Reo is not just a parasite. It's a symbiotic relationship in which they both benefit. So I like that.
Oh, look at you with the science. That's nice. That's a good way of putting it. It's like Blue Lock has all these paradoxes that are ingrained into the plot. Like, we're going to send a bunch of soccer players to Blue Lock in order to make them individuals and greedy. That doesn't, that doesn't, with the team thing, that doesn't seem to make sense, but it does make sense once it plays out. But I guess maybe with Reo and Hiyori, the better they are, the better the symbiosis is. So it's a personal drive and a dual drive. That's cool.
Yeah. And R89, thank you for the two. He asked you a question. I don't know if you want to read that or if you even see it, but it's just the question is, what character in Hunter x Hunter are you putting in Shibuya? I don't know to what end, but like, I guess who would it be? Who would you want to see in that arc?
Asking Liv is crazy, by the way. I'm right here. Just want to point that
out. Let me answer. Hisoka.
Oh God.
Okay, I gotta shave a minute off. Oh, this is. Okay, I felt that one in my chest. I think I think also a big difference from Hiyori and Ness and Reo is like you don't see why Ness loves dick eating so much compared to Hiyori and even Reo, because for them they have like motivations behind their meat munching escapades, but with Ness it just seems like he's just really into it. Dick eating, not he could be into Kaiser, I don't know.
Escapades.
Yeah. Correct. Thank you for the 14. Corona about to start looking at Hiyori sideways. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need like a solar system hotline with all three of them. But yeah, Hiyori. So someone mentioned it. Like Hiyori kind of seems like Sai. Well, I mean, you already have the illusion of him having Sai level passes, right? And this may be very much like, okay, it's no secret that Isagi plays very much like how Rin plays, right? They play like each other. They both have like really good vision, blah 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 blah. And if it's like if Hiyori has metavision, which Sai did as well, and he also has Sai level passes or whatever, what we might just see is like a hypothetical verse in which Sai and Rin both play together, right? Up until like their full development, which is a very exciting thing to see. I just think I think this is honestly one of the first times, if not the first time, we've seen two Metavision players whose like whole thing that they focus on is their vision really link up and really we kind of see that with Noah and Isagi towards the end of the last game. But like obviously Kaiser and Isagi are going at it. Nico is in opposition to Isagi and Kaiser. Same thing with Aiku, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Seeing two elite level visionaries like trying to take over the field is going to be something that I'm really looking forward to.
Especially because next goal is what, the one that wins the game? Is it out of 3?
It's first of 3.
Damn, this game's been long.
Yeah, bro, that Dems Blue Lock games for you. But yeah, I'm locked in. I'm locked in personally. Goated Glazer is such a crazy term. It is. It really is.
That's a bar though. I'm gonna write that one down.
I bet you will, buddy. But yeah, I mean, it is crazy terminology. It is crazy terminology. But yeah, really good chapter. I will say that this personally for me is my favorite out of the week. I mean, it was just really good. Blew up on top. You know what I mean? Think you missed missed my super chat. Hold on, KT. Let me go back. See if I missed it. Let's see. Oh, KT, thank you for the 5. The hood is me. Oh dear, Kreams.
Oh my
Please
God.
tell me I made this joke first.
Oh
all right, cool. I'm gonna write that down and put that in here. Appreciate it.
We don't.
Braille's malfunctioning. But yeah, appreciate it. Thank you for making me go back and read that. That was actually essential. Let's see. Sleeping Danger, thank you for the 14. Isagi, Hiyori, Corona versus Kaiser, Ness, and Kiora in PXG. Well, you think Kiora is gonna be mad because like Isagi was like, "Don't step onto the field. I need my goat." I don't know. I could see something like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know who I need to be the main focus of PXG besides Isagi, and that's my goat Kunigami. Yes, sir. I need him to lock in and fight against my other.
Why?
I need him to lock
Kunigami does not
in
deserve
and
this
fight
from
in.
you, bro.
I need him to lock in and fight against
wasting
my
your
other goat
support on a
Shido.
bottom-feeding loser
I need him
is
to
so
lock
sad.
in and fight against my other goat Shido.
Hey, I'm just glad he showed up this chapter. Was it this chapter or was it last chapter?
Last
He was
chapter.
in a corner panel. Yeah. I mean, at least we got a little peek of him. He's still on the field. That's great.
Yeah, he's still there.
Always on the field.
Yeah, hasn't been seated. That's crazy.
Goat things. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Watch Kunigami get the last goal.
Hey, bro, listen. There are very few people that could get the last goal besides Isagi that would not make me filled with rage, and Kunigami is one of those people. Baro, I'd freak out. Kaiser, I'd freak out. Kunigami though, like Kunigami could get a goal. Like go. Hey, bro, hyena hero, cook something. You know, I don't think he is, but like I'm not mad at it. Kunigami's a bum loser. Damn, bro, my finger slipped and you accidentally just got timed out for 5 minutes. That's a kind of no.
Oh, whoops.
Wait, who did you just ban?
I didn't ban anybody yet. I'm trying to decide if I need to.
Who slandered Megumi this time?
No, it's someone slandered Kunigami.
Oh, dude, don't go to war for Kunigami.
I'll let you off with a warning this time. Keep your opinions to yourself, buddy, or else my my clicking finger might slip a few times. But yeah, but overall, Blue Lock, great chapter, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 is nuts, but yeah, it was a solid 7.
10 out of 10. Liv, what are your thoughts? What do you rate it?
You're not breaking any ties, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. Unless you want to say 7, in which case, I will win. But just no pressure.
Are you telling me my vote doesn't count?
It depends on what your answer is.
He doesn't believe in women's suffrage, is what he's saying.
Hold on, wait, I'll figure out my beliefs when she answers. Liv, please.
I would give it like a 9.
Oh, that's crazy how we're just deadlocked here on the old Honored Ones podcast. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles.
But continue, Liv.
More borrow praise, so it's obviously got to be closer to a 10 than a 7. Do you not like anyone on the field right now? Is that what's going on?
He's a loser who thinks like if a game doesn't end in 5 chapters, it's garbage.
Have you ever haikyu'd? Have
No.
you like
What the fuck?
Live. No,
It's a
live. Think about what you just said for a second. He wouldn't be the person he is today if he read Haikyuu, all right? He would be better.
You're right.
He
I'm
would be
wrong.
better.
Action 00. You know when Creams is at his best? Nope. You
When
almost
he's
got me.
alone.
You
It
almost
doesn't
got
matter
me.
who the racist is. Anyone who slurs with him just gets in the way.
What the fuck?
Thank you. I'm gonna add that to the repertoire. But this tier list is gonna go nuts. This tier list is gonna go crazy.
Dude, I'm so nervous about the 100th. Like it's 75, right? Is right now equidistant from 50 and from 100. And I don't know, man. The last 25 episodes, including the 0.5 episodes, fuck me. I did not. There's a whole mountain of clips.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you might be getting worse.
I mean, between the whip thing, the fucking what was the other one? The tree thing, the the Clapjaku thing from last week that Mikey clipped.
I'm not gonna lie, don't you just stand on that one, bro? Like
I do. That's the crazy thing, right? It's a fair question. Did Kenjaku go back for seconds if it didn't work the first time? The scientific method says that if it doesn't work the first, try again.
Kreams, I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
What if you found out that Kenjaku was a woman originally?
Take some of the fun out of it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Whoa.
Bro said, "Oh my god, this good character being a woman? Fuck. No, I can't have that."
Wait, for my Clapjaku agenda or just generally
nothing.
live?
No, nothing. Anything but that on some Aaron shit. Anything but that. No, not for 10 years. It can't be a woman. It's like, all right, bro, come on now.
Not my goat, bro.
No, not my goat.
If it's a woman, it's just not.
Wait, so live in the context of like the Clapjaku thing, or like generally for Kenjaku?
Well, I mean, I don't even feel like that question would be asked if you knew that Kenjaku was a woman originally.
But
like going back for seconds, like that's just, you know.
It's
like,
meant to be scientific.
She used to be a woman.
It's meant to be scientific. Liv, don't make it weird. Get your head out of the gutter.
What gutter could you be in aside from asking if Kenjaku went back for seconds? Like
you put the grate on the gutter.
That's just where we're at.
Okay, I think this is slander.
Of course it is.
You'll have to speak to my attorney.
Bro, hold on. Bro, Beer has to leak the doc at the 100th.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Believe it or not, Beer, you actually don't have to do that.
I could just drop the Google Drive link. That's kind of hard. That's kind of a crazy idea. I like that.
We don't have to do anything crazy.
I kind of like that idea. But yeah.
I mean, for what it's worth, you know,
it's not worth anything, by the way, if it's your opinion.
I mean, it's also Liv's opinion. She just told me, so like we're kind of united.
No,
on
she
this.
can speak for herself. It's okay.
I mean, I think I just try to expedite the process.
No, it's okay. We don't need any expeditiousness. No, thank you. Let's see. Let's see. Creams, damn. Why aren't these women 3 steps behind the men? I'm screenshotting that. Thank you.
I wanted to give NJW a little bit of credit. He said something kind of cool about the hypothetical of Hisoka being in Shibuya. Him using bungee gum on Max Meteor would be kind of fuego.
Motherfucker's getting fried. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. He's getting cooked.
Yeah.
Hisoka got nothing on fucking Jogo. Let's be real, bro. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like this is the beyond special grade level sorcerer type character we talking about.
You forgot who I was talking to there for a second.
I don't know why you'd ever do that. Hisoka hater plus Jogo devotee. Like, come on now, bro. Come on, what are we doing here?
Can you not talk about one of my goats like that? One of my goats is a character who I like. Don't condone their actions. Don't condone their actions. I got out ahead of it, you fucking asshole. All right, I beat you to the punch.
It didn't sound like you were gonna call me an asshole. It sounded like you were gonna call something that started with an N. I'm not gonna lie to you. You fucking. He said you fucking. I'm like, hold on, bro. That's kind of crazy. You didn't. You put a little bit of history into that one, bro.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Bro said, hold on. Let me bring back an oldie but a goodie. That's what it sounded like you were. That's what it sounded like you were. That's what it sounded like you were gonna do, bro. An oldie but a goodie. I'm gonna be real, bro. That's what it sounded like you thought. That's what it sounded like you thought, bro.
I have never.
It sounded like you were gonna do that, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you.
Bro's using projection sorcery right now. I can't even fucking do it. Okay. Sleeping Ninja thing for the
Kreams, the programmer is nuts. Thank you for the 2 rush.
Sleeping Ninja thing for the 14. Person in Ghetto's body is your goat. Interesting. I don't know what to say to this, Sleeping Danger. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Keep it a stack. Keep it flowing. Thank you for the dono.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right. So I guess we can transition into talking about JJK. Let's see. I made a tweet, right? That kind of got a little bit of traction. So I know you guys both responded. Kreams responded in a very interesting way. But like, I'm very curious, like, if you guys could elaborate and like talk about it a little bit more. So the tweet in question is just basically like you get dropped in JJK, right? And you can't be your normal loser self. Your mission is to become the strongest. Like, you got to be stronger than Gojo and Sukuna. And you got to make it clear, right? You got to beat one of them or both, preferably. Yeah. What's your technique? What's the technique you're picking, right? And who is the person you're having train you?
Right? I mean, didn't we have this conversation on a previous episode? Am I tripping? Or did we just do that?
Yeah, no 10 shadows are limitless, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think last time, I actually kind of want to rescind it, right? So I think I said Geto's technique, and I stand by that. I wish I didn't respond with the GIF. All right, that was an error in judgment on my part on Twitter. I did not think that went through. But like, yeah, curse spirit manipulation. I don't know. I also don't know why I called it curse technique manipulation. I don't know what was wrong with me that day. So Geto's technique, with what's his name? Kenjaku as my teacher.
Fair enough. All right, what do you think? What do you think he's gonna give you though? Like walk me through the process. Barriers. Walk me through how you're okay.
Like Geto's main weakness as a combatant is like he has like nothing as far as like reverse curse technique, barriers. So he's kind of a bum in that department. But his raw technique is excellent to the point where he's able to like skate by on special grade because of it. I'd say he's actually basically just a glorified Yaga, to be real, right? So I'd want to close that gap, get on whatever Kenjaku's on.
Got you. All right, and Liv, what would your strat be? Sorcerer, or not sorcerer, teacher, and curse technique.
So my teacher and curse technique are going to be the same thing. I responded with a picture of Mahito, and I just said, "Give me one of these." But basically, I think idle transfiguration can be used in a lot of ways that Mahito doesn't use it in. And I'm trying not to, because my reasons were honestly pretty whimsical. I think in the comments, I went back and forth with somebody about how, like, just try and imagine Jesus with Mahito's technique. You can get a hand on somebody, you change their heart, you change their soul. I mean, you're kind of not enemies anymore.
I mean, you could just... It's funny you say that because like BR's situation is so like combative that it didn't even occur to me that you can get people to worship you because Geto did have a cult.
I didn't say who said worship.
No, Liv, you're cooking. You know what? You're right. I would perform miracles, like big spectacle miracles, right? But then I'd also dish out punishments because like I don't want like the military to think I'm soft. So you know what? On like my goat Kenjaku, at the White House, I do a demonstration.
I mean, okay. I'd walk into the White House and do a demonstration. I'd get rid of all the corruption at once. Like, everybody shake my hand real quick.
For everybody, this is all for the purposes of entertainment. None of what we're saying
exactly.
here
this is all BR's idea. You know what BR thinks for the inspiration.
none of what we're saying here is actually
Ronin.
reflective of the real opinions of the people on this podcast. And nobody was harmed in the making of this episode. Just real quick, because you guys are trying to get into legal trouble. And also, nobody said you had to start a fucking church. Beat up one guy. Like, Jesus Christ. No pun intended.
I mean,
You
bro.
could actually be a hero for once, Kreams. Like a real
I am
hero.
actually a hero, Liv. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm literally a hero. Do you
Show
know
me
how
your
many
hunter's
people,
license.
Do you know how many people I've... Hunters are not heroes, by the way. That's crazy.
He's heroes of the white hoods.
That's fucking wild.
Heroes of
that.
Bro said, listen, I'm a hero for racism. When a racist needs me, I'm there. Kreams 2023.
Wait, actually, do we have a super... I could have sworn we had a super chat that we missed. We had
There's a couple we missed.
Yeah, okay.
So that guy, Super, thank you for the 5. Been watching the pod since episode 24. Among the Klansmen and the racists, he is the strongest.
Oh my god.
Any system that isn't ruled by many Klansmen is worthless. Yeah, you're the one who insisted on this. And thank you for the 5, by the way. Kami, thank you for the 5. How much for the doc? Listen,
It's not for
the
sale.
full doc is crazy. I'll drop 20 pieces of information of documented Kreams lore, right? You drop $100 right now. That's the price. And I'll include a couple of very incriminating videos.
Let's bro.
Right.
Okay, you're playing a dangerous fucking game right now.
Actually, let me hold on.
No.
Don't super chat it. Let me link my PayPal. Hold on. Let me don't super chat it. Let me link my PayPal.
Super chat it.
Okay, so he's just given the A-OK on it. Nice, cool. All right, guys. So if you yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's that.
No.
That's that 3D chess. Yes, sir. Wait, that's a 3D chess. 3D chess is crazy. 4D chess is what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Samar Nelson, thank you for the 5. I'm not gonna lie, picking the. I'm not reading this anymore.
Kreams, if there's segregation, then it has my admiration. Okay, bet. Did you see the thing I DM'd you, by the way, Kreams?
Let's see.
Go and check that out, buddy.
What the fuck?
that shit is funny.
What was this even under?
It was just under. I think it was under like the promo tweet for the episode.
No. No.
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
I think so. Yeah.
That's
that
nuts.
Funny. Anyways, so Liv, you got a question. What are your top 5? Okay, got you. Then go.
I can't. Okay. This is such a hard question. I don't know how you guys just rattle these off. I have to sit there and think about it, and then I get thinking about the stories, and then I'm like, oh shit, well I cried over that, and I didn't cry over this, but I still thought about it for 3 months.
Yeah.
Why do I keep pronouncing
Can I give you
this?
in no specific order? Just can I just give you a pile
just
of
give me
5?
your favorite 5. Like these 5 are better than everything else you've read. You don't have to rank them.
Blame.
What was the question?
JJK.
Top 5 manga for Liv.
Hunter.
Okay.
Calm down. You should be happy that somebody loves the series that you love.
No, I'm a gatekeeper.
He doesn't like you because he doesn't like. Well, no, you're not. I'm gonna be real with you. You've never gate kept a single thing successfully.
You know, I want to share it with my friends, BR. You know, I
so
thought
that,
you were among them.
You're not a gatekeeper then, loser. That's the opposite of gatekeeping.
No,
genius.
no. It's why I made you sign the fucking confidentiality agreement that you keep breaking, by the way.
Interesting. What are you gonna do? Sue me? But anyways, continue, Liv. So JJK, blame Hunter x Hunter. Continue.
JJK, blame Hunter x Hunter. I might throw Berserk in there.
You don't have to. Like you know what I mean. You're not obligated to. You can take it out.
That one, honest to God, I would almost put that in like a Lord of the Rings category. But it's manga, so it's manga. Okay, so like Rainbow, but like I never want to read that again.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not about reread. It's just your top 5, like your favorite manga.
And Naruto is a alternate.
I don't. Isn't that 5? What do you mean alternate? Or maybe I just can't count. Hold on. Let me put out my fingers for this one. No, Berserk, Hunter x Hunter, JJK, Blame, Rainbow, or Naruto. Got it. Makes sense. Yeah. So it is an alternate. There we go. Just had to pull out the fingers. Sorry, guys.
You know what, Liv?
Awesome.
I'm gonna try something new.
Oh?
I'm happy for you. I'm really glad you like Hunter x Hunter. It's one of my favorite series, and I'm glad you're on board and see the vision.
Who's your favorite character?
No
unfortunately.
comment. I'm gonna have to speak to my attorneys about answering that question, and we will get back to you with an official statement.
Well, baby steps, I guess. Okay.
Fair enough.
It's
Fair enough.
Hisoka. Unfortunate.
Ice Snipe Neji, thank you for the 2. Creams, you might want to read this one. It's actually in support of you.
I can't let people slander King Cream. I appreciate you, man. You're a real one. Thank you. You're the reason I keep showing up. It's like, thank you. Oh, a little tear came out my eye. Ooh.
I bet.
Hey, Landa. Percent. Hey, Creams.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Tell
I'm
me
so
about
mad.
the 2%.
I'm so mad she told you that. Landa, thank you for the 2, I guess.
You're the 1 to my 1. Together we're 2. What's going on here?
Nothing.
Percent.
Nothing.
2%.
Yeah,
Like
how much of
milk?
the audience is no, let's not go down that road.
We don't need to get it. We don't need to get to it publicly.
Oh, I get it. No, okay, yeah, no, I understand. Gotcha.
Also, I refuse to believe this. There's no way Landa and I are the only girls in chat. So if you're a girl and you're in chat, please say so. There's no way we're the only 2%.
You're about to hear crickets and cicadas. Just
no way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you just.
Dreams is not very woman friendly. I've noticed.
Don't blame it on me.
Don't. Why wouldn't I? Like that's literally that's like part of the bit. It's just everything is blamed on you, buddy.
How?
Let's not switch up what's working
I make
now.
this space, right? I make this beautiful domain that you and I call home very welcoming, sir. All right.
Okay, let me show a clip of something to the contrary, just so we can be on the same page. Okay.
Okay, I was actually bracing myself. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, we can move past it, buddy.
Okay,
listen. Unless someone drops 100, you're probably not getting like docs leaked today. I'll put it like that.
Oh my gosh, shut up. Already.
Bro, hold on. Do you not want 100? Like, am I not understanding something, bro?
Bro, like to get doxxed? Are you insane?
No, you're not. You're not getting doxed. You're just getting some docs released. Like it's different. People aren't gonna come to your home, bro. Like that's not the problem. They're just going to know with objective proof that you're a raging racist and bigot. You know what I mean? It's completely different.
All right.
I bet you do. I bet you hate everybody that looks like me too. I'm gonna be real with you.
Think of the 2. Liv, who in JJK are you putting in Chimera Ants arc? R89.
I've been thinking about that.
You and your ilk keep testing my patience with these @livs and Hunter questions. Ask me first.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
They don't care about what you got to say, man.
I am literally a fucking hero, BR. Do you know how many cats from trees I've saved today? Do you have any idea? Guess the number.
You're on the podcast. Unfortunately, every time we do one, Liv is not. Hence why they're maybe somewhat interested in what she has to say. So if you want to talk after, go ahead. But Liv, who are you putting in that Chimera Ant arc?
You guys can keep bickering for as long as you want because I'm having a hell of a time trying to piece through that.
Like to help
there
out?
Is so
like
who can basically survive in that kind of climate, I'm assuming, right?
Most of them. Yeah,
I just mean like the way that it was handled. First of all, like the ball was rolling on the war against the Chimera Ants before any improvement in the ants' mentality was noticed. So it was like the extermination had begun before any evolution could occur organically. And I do think Komagi would end up getting the heart of Meruem, and he would end up realizing, oh shit, maybe genocide isn't the answer. Creams. So,
weird stray, but go on.
Sorry, Ghetto came to mind, and I just associated.
Or Batman, maybe.
Gotham would be so safe.
You see,
I would be so safe.
I would just systematically remove people's spinal cords, and then
if I was in Gotham,
there's nothing wrong with that.
The rent would be $3,000 for a studio apartment. That's how safe it would be, if I was Batman.
Listen, Creams.
You would beg me to move to Gotham.
Creams, you would be putting people through what you're going through. Do you want that?
No, I would
Okay,
wish.
so then let's take a
No.
step down. All right, you're on the edge. I'm trying to help you off, right? Because you were about to pull a triple backflip onto the concrete. So let's get you down. Okay, let's take you to a therapist. Let's get you some medical attention. All right, let's not worry about Batman and removing spinal cords. All right, together, not really together, but with a therapist, you can
But
get
together,
through this.
you're right. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're here with me for every step of the journey and for all those appointments. Hand in hand.
Probably Yuji.
Liv, you don't have to be there. It's kind of a me and BR thing. So.
Oh, I was answering the question that already 9 asked me 3 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Probably
mm.
Yuji.
Sick. Mahoraga Neji, thank you for the 2. Hisoka versus Kenjaku. Domain expansion. Like, what are we doing?
Bro,
You know what I mean?
I think what you gotta ask is like, why? What did Hisoka do? Never mind. I just remembered
come
why.
on now.
Okay, my bad.
Come
Whoa.
on.
Just. Hey, you know what's funny about Hisoka? Just real quick. You see our little image here? You know how I have Aizen and Gojo and Takaba and Sanji on there?
Uh-huh.
I would not survive if I wanted to add Hisoka. My build
to be
is
fair,
so suspect, bro. Like, I can't be having Sanji on there. Like, and Hisoka. I'd have to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sanji already is like was a red flag.
Yeah,
a
I'd
crimson
have to
flag.
answer some uncomfortable questions.
Why do you happen to like both of these characters so much? Well, they just really, I mean, hey man, maybe if they speak to you, they speak to you. Like, I'll get you into a prison system somewhere, but you can be honest about it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Alex Jagoya, thank you for the 5. Hey Ronan, have you read Aoshi? Aoshi, Jesus, I'm at a stroke. And if you have, what would you rate it? I have not read it, but I've heard really good things. It's a sports manga, so like it honestly probably couldn't be bad even if it tried. I just haven't gotten around to it. Is all. Like, it's definitely on the list. Let's see. KT, thank you for the 2. What do I need to start a channel like UBR for real? Okay, just real quick so I don't bore everybody here, right? The general thing is know what you want to talk about for the foreseeable future, and just like listen. I'm gonna put it simply: steal from people that you like, right? From me, from Noop, from whoever you see. Yes, like look at what we do, right? Figure out what we do well. Figure out what you don't care for us for, and then just like start putting it together and trying to like make your own amalgamation of things. Is like the simplest way to put it. If you DM me on Twitter, I can try to get into like more specifics, but that is the like really condensed version of it. But thank you for the 2.
CJS Wivero.
CJ Swervo, maybe.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I could have gone with that one. CJ Swervo, thank you for being a member for a month. Meruem versus the low special grades and enjoy Twitter. That was you? Hold on, was that you?
Oh, you're godlike, bro. You're godlike.
No way.
No
fucking way.
Yeah, it was CJ Swervo. Hold on.
What?
Yes, sir.
How could you do that to
real,
me, bro?
You're real. Hey, bro, he's a member.
And you don't even
actually can't
follow
get
me.
mad.
That's wild.
You shouldn't either, by the way.
No, that's crazy.
But yeah, like,
no, that's nuts. Meruem versus the low special grades. Domain expansions. Meruem loses. You know, it's crazy that you'll. Unbelievable. Follow me right now.
Don't.
Let's see. Samar Nelson, thank you for the 2. How do you guys see Hikari going against Mahoraga? Dying.
Thank God.
Like, bro,
that's what you love to see.
Dude,
that's what you love to hear. That's what you love to see.
Bro,
that's what you love to talk about.
I love Hikari like a brother, all right? That's my guy right there, all right?
Like a what?
Like a brother.
You put a little bit of an A on there.
Like a...
Like what? Interesting.
Shut up.
Continue.
Anyway, I love Hikari like a brother, all right? That's my guy. He simply has one attack when he hits jackpot, and that is strong punch. It is over for him. Just some nerd thing for the 2.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it in Kreams' culture to be a deviant? What do you mean by that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounds nuts.
That is also with an Aaron picture. That's wild.
That sounds fucking crazy. I'm gonna need some clarification. I'm gonna need some context because
I'm gonna need you to change your profile picture. You can't do both at the same time, bro.
Bonkers, bro. His culture? No, that's nuts. Oh, I think you missed one, by the way. SM, thank you for the 2. The sparks of Cream's whip knew exactly who to bless. Interesting. Caliber X4, thank you for the 5. Cream sounding like handsome Jack for real. I'm the hero.
Who?
Delusion. I don't know. R89, thank you for the 2. At Live, once again. What would Hisoka's domain expansion be?
Calm down, Creams. A gumball.
What?
I feel like that's pretty obvious. No?
Something like that. I mean, something like that. I don't
would think
disagree.
Like not even a spider's web, but something sticky, like really
Yeah,
sticky.
like- Maybe like you just have no autonomy inside there at all, and you're just kind of like suspended in it.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely fucking horrific considering his character. No,
Oh
thank you.
yeah. Oh, that's a layer too. Yeah, that's good. Caliber X4, thank you.
Huh?
What?
Nothing.
I actually didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just laughing at you for
Oh,
saying
then
that's
it's.
good.
I guess I trauma blocked it. Whatever. Caliber X4,
Yeah,
thank you
me
for the
too.
5. How to start your channel? The secret ingredient is crime. BR. Yeah.
Listen, bro, it's pastiche.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's just like incorporated into your style, bro. Listen, I'm gonna put it like this, right? If you like Gege, you like Jujutsu Kaisen, we subscribe to the same theory. Steal shit, put it in your manga, change some of the lettering, boom, success. Like, what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But like, do fix it though. Like, don't literally just steal. I hope the context is clear on that. You gotta change the font, right? Maybe reword a paragraph. But
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
the
steal, like,
idea is
VR.
you just. Yeah, you gotta steal like me. You steal like a very specific component of somebody's thing that they do well, right? And then you just move on. And you just make your thing based on like your inspirations.
R89, thank you for the 2. Loki Creams looks and sounds like Tony Khan. This is the second time I think you have said this. I responded to it the first time. It's an okay comparison. I personally don't see it. I'm gonna be real with you. It's bordering, like the second time I'm like starting to think you might be saying it as an insult. I'm gonna choose to keep taking it as like a passive compliment, if not a neutral observation, but that's where it stands. It's like in a passing sense, and if I wasn't wearing my glasses, maybe.
Hey, fair enough. Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
So let me ask you guys a question. All right, this one's gonna be fun. So you meet Gege in person, right? Do you start off with a drop kick, a right hook, or a tackle?
I'm going for a little
This
bit of
guy.
irony. You know what Yuji did versus like the Manji kick, where he like collapses to the ground and then just kicks him in the dome?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. That's my opener.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
he
just, like,
deserves. Yeah.
full knee release, falling to the ground, and then boom, just side of the head. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then we can maybe have a discussion if he
Yeah.
wants to, or if he's moving. But
I think I'd go for a spear, on some edge shit.
okay, I can respect that. I think I can respect that, to be honest.
What about you, Liv?
I'm gonna shake his hand.
Oh well.
Boo.
Boo. Yeah.
Hit him. Strike him.
Bro, like.
I mean, my goat's winning right now.
Okay, so next chapter.
Your goat's not
So you know how
active.
Gege listens to the podcast, right? Next chapter, he just told me he's killing off Maki. What are you gonna do when you meet him?
shake his
I've asked
hand.
I've
That's
asked Liv
insane.
a very similar question, and
insane.
I've realized the thing I've realized, Streams and chat, there's nothing Gege could do to make Maki Jesus Christ, to make Liv not like JJK. I asked her, when Sukuna like shot the lightning down at like Takaba and Maki, right? Back when those chapters were coming out, I asked if Maki died from that, right? She got off screen and she's just dead. Would you hate JJK? And she was like, no. I wouldn't like that decision, but I would not hate JJK. So there's just
Yeah, Liv. It's not
There's
about
nothing
hating
to
the
be done.
series. It's about hating Gege for putting you through that. Get some justice.
I mean, I feel like you
Vigilante
are
justice.
what you eat. So if you like just come at Gege with a whole bunch of hate, he no longer has interest in what I want him to do. So like,
Manga's over. Maki's dead. All right. He's on retirement, right? He's just there, like, yeah, I killed your goat on some Gege shit. Normal Gege activities, right? The manga bill failed to pass, so he's extra cocky.
manga bill.
The thing with the
so I'm just like, on a beach somewhere and see a Mechamaru costume chilling there or something.
It's
like,
weird that you go
Basically.
right to beach, but like sure. I was thinking like just random encounter in like a mall or something, but sure.
Yeah, I don't know why I figured Gege would be on a beach.
Yeah,
I
because
have
like
no
if
idea.
especially if you associate him in the Mechamaru costume, it's like he could.
I don't know. Maybe he's chilling in Dagon's domain because he's dodging people finding out his identity.
Well, he would.
So in that case, I would probably escort him to the nearest padded room and ask him some questions.
I put on boxing gloves in that situation, just in case, you know, for his
Why are you
safety.
putting on gloves? Bare knuckle. Just what
Oh.
are we doing? Why are we being all gentle here, man? Oh my
Yeah.
god, bro. The Sparks of Black don't choose who they bless, and I'm about to hit him with the meanest left hook he's ever seen. Nah, but I will say this. I was gonna say dedication to the bit. Dedication to JJK is definitely unreal. Um,
What do you mean I need to be taught the way of the agenda? What does that mean?
Also, thank you,
it
Sleeping
means
Danger, for the
that
14.
yeah. It's like, listen, if your goat loses, you lose, basically, right? It's sort of the idea.
Well, Maki doesn't lose.
I mean, she lost her sister. but,
Listen,
yeah, I mean,
listen. Don't lose is crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, hear me out on that. I don't mean like, you know, now you slip through the cracks type of thing. What I mean is like Maki's purpose from here on out is guaranteed to be pivotal. She's a heavenly restriction user. They're fate breakers. Whatever she does from here on out, even if she dies horrifically, it's gonna be important. And
I
I'm
don't disagree,
Is it
but just
down
Maki
for her to
doesn't
die
lose is just
importantly.
crazy.
Yeah, but like Liv, you forget Gege is a misogynist, so he might pull a Yuki thing with Maki. So it might not even
That's
be
why
satisfying.
he made Maki look like Toji. That's why she got the haircut and the, her skin's
Oh
gone.
yeah, it was a way to trick himself.
I will say,
Right.
I will say,
Yeah,
Maki
exactly.
does have an extra layer of defense because so long as Maki's in the manga, Toji can keep getting brought up.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I could see, like she's not invincible. Don't get me wrong, but she does have like an extra layer, a barrier of protection, if you will. So yeah, I do.
So-
Sort of
All right.
parrot that idea.
All right, Liv. Let me ask you like the best, most common JJK question going on right now, right? How much longer do you think until JJK ends?
Bro, you just want everything to hurry up and finish, don't you?
I just
You
no.
want the-
It's neutral.
you
It's
want the
neutral.
Borrow game to
It's
be over? You
neutral.
want
It's
JJK to
neutral.
end?
It's neutral. All right. Everything I say is okay. Liv, you see Captain America, right? Is stepping on throwing himself in front of a grenade. Are you like, I mean, you just want everything to be over? No, you're like, wow, what a hero. Use the same logic with me, please.
Okay. I think what Weekly Shonen Jump and Shueisha have at their disposal is pressure. And I think that the community is a whole hell of a lot of pressure right now, and the popularity is only snowballing. And because of that, I think that if Gege is susceptible to money, then we might be able to drag this out for a little bit. But in that case, a forced drag out of JJK might be the best thing that ever happens to the story as far as pacing.
Yes.
Like
It would
like
be a
if-
gift.
Yeah, like if somebody just pumped the brakes for Gege, Gege would have to go back to Hunter x Hunter, and start
This is
scrapping some
okay.
like filler stuff, and I'd be down.
controversial take,
But-
right? I want you guys' opinion because it's based off what Liv just said. All right. If we withhold, like after a manga gets like a certain level of success, right? Let's say over like the 50, 60 million mark, I think they should keep withholding funds until the manga ends normally, right? Because I think Gege is rushing for a payout. That's what I think is happening.
That might be the most insane thing I've heard today.
Yeah. I don't know if that even makes sense. Does it make sense?
I mean, not for somebody like Oda, right, who's like obsessed with the series, but like Gege, he's looking at that beach in Florida thinking about retirement, right? It's very clear.
Dude, there you went to a beach too.
It's different with
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean,
anyway, BR, you were talking?
yeah, I mean, I think that's nuts. I'm gonna be real with you.
You were saying nothing. Okay. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hey. Look. Guys. Buddies. Amigos. I lost my train of thought. You guys have to take it from here.
That you did. Kishkin, thank you for the 5. For as much slander as Kreams gets, gotta admit he's one of the interesting parts of the podcast. That is the most neutral praise I may have ever heard in my life.
Yeah, bro did not hurt himself trying to
You know, he's one of the interesting parts of the podcast. Motherfucker, there's 2 people on here for damn near every episode. I would hope so.
Bro is adding other parts of the podcast that I don't know about. Like, what's going on?
He's not one of the most, just one of the interesting parts. That's funny.
Barely even top 5 for real. Fucking hell.
Kreams called me Employee of the Month this morning, and I was so confused about it. I was like, what are you...
He's been doing that all month, but yeah.
But I appreciate you understanding the acronym without me having to explain it. Liv, so good job.
I do
I'm proud
jobs.
of you. This is why, by the way, the Employee of the Month thing.
Fair enough.
BR would have had to ask me, just saying.
Cameron Russell, thank you for the 2. Higiruma is 6th in verse alive under Yuta over Hikari. He's saying Higiruma is the 6th strongest guy right now. Let me do the math on that real quick. Alive. Let me write this down, all right? Because you're sounding kind of crazy, but like Gojo number 1. I don't care if you put Sukuna over him. I'm just writing out Sukuna, Yuta, Hashimo, Maki, I guess this is where he'd put Higiruma. Right?
It's
not the what the fuck? Kenjaku exists. Yeah, no, he's not top 6. Maybe if you're thinking good guys, nope, then you would erase Sukuna and he'd probably be higher. He's high, he's strong, right? But it's a mix of his domain being very hacked and like there also not being a lot of top tiers alive anymore.
Would you put Arame above him or like below him?
I don't know. Higiruma is annoying. I don't fucking know. Like, does he just get frozen before he gets off the domain, or does because without her technique, I don't know if I'm thinking Arame.
I mean, she tanked with piercing blood pretty well. The poison got her more than like the impact did at that speed, and she was able to use reverse curse technique.
I feel like Arame's getting the death penalty though. No,
I mean,
you're aiding and abetting Sukuna.
I mean, no, but isn't the condition for the Executioner's Sword the retrial?
I don't know. Let me check. I thought it was just like a certain crime level because like the first crime Yuji gets is like a very petty one. He goes into a pachinko parlor. But the second one is when he kills people and then he gets a death penalty for like mass murder.
No, I just thought it was like when you lose an appeal, it's like at least in Japan, it has like a 99% conviction rate, and he's a Japanese lawyer, so like I figured it was just, how dare you lose your appeal? Like, how dare you appeal, then lose, therefore the sentence is harsher. So it wasn't necessarily about the crime, but more so, like, questioning the decision in the first place of Judge Man. I mean, that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, no. I think it's correct. It's first domain, then second domain. You're right.
I wonder... Oh, sorry, you got me thinking about Judge Man. Because at the end of everything, it's always up to Judge Man. He's got the verdict. He decides what the confiscation or the Executioner's Sword, like what's going to be used. And that kind of freaks me out because if I think about like, I don't know, Mahoraga having an independent thought, Rika having a little bit of sentience, Naoya existing in his full ego, like is Judge Man kind of like a crooked Shikigami? Like
Judge Man, okay, if that's the case, right, and Judge Man was able to confiscate Mahoraga's technique, oh my god, that would be so cool. That would be so cool.
Where does it go once it's confiscated? Like the lost and found box?
Because, like, what if the 10 Shadows user unsummoned Mahoraga? Would the technique still be confiscated? Like, or would it just be like, okay, spawn in and out, kind of like a Pokeball, but like without the need to recharge the thing?
I don't know how Shikigami would work in Higuruma's domain.
Yeah.
I mean, if you catch a 10 Shadows user, they're just not summoning the Shikigami at all. But if you just catch a Shikigami, then like maybe like you just have Mahoraga who can't adapt, or Max Elephant who can't speed water, or Nue he's not electric.
But I mean, a Mahoraga who can't adapt is like. By the way, funny win con to get the ritual done, with another person.
Yeah. All right, you took it down. It can't adapt. Now it's just super fucking strong. Let's get it. Okay. Fair enough.
I believe in us.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was, I mean, I'd be petty enough to just use the same attack on an a Mahoraga who can't adapt, like, just because I could. Just be like, yeah, I'm spamming you with the same attack 9 times in a row, and you can't adapt, asshole. I think Mahoraga's ability would just, like, piss me off if I was, like, on the other end of it.
It'd piss you off for about 2 seconds, I agree. You'd be real mad. But yeah.
Obviously, negative diff, because it's me, but, like, hypothetically, if I was somebody, like, you.
I agree, we do agree, negative diff. But yeah, let's see. No violence. I can summon them, but they can't. Well, that's just in the domain. Like, you can fight Higiruma back outside of it once it's been dispelled or whatever. But yeah, let's see.
So wait, Liv, what's the number for the chapters JJK has left?
At least a year.
Well,
so like 50.
Yeah.
I was thinking like 40.
Assuming that it's taking the same amount of breaks.
So like 38.
Well, how many weeks are in a year?
I'm not
52.
Oh my god, I'm not doing. I'm not Mahito right now, right? I'm not doing the Jujutsu Kaisen thing with you and BR.
Why'd you get so specific with the date then? Just estimate.
I didn't mean a date. I meant chapter amount.
But you're saying 38. Like, that's such a specific number. Like, not 40, not 50, not 30, 38. It just makes it seem like you already know the calculations of, like, if Gege does it for 1 more year, it'll be exactly 38 chapters. Like, damn, bro, you know something I don't?
I mean,
obviously not.
I mean, if I did, right, I wouldn't be saying this stuff I was saying when Megumi got possessed. That's the word.
Anyways, I'm not even understanding that part, but sure. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Yeah, this Gojo vs Sukuna, 15 chapters, 14 chapters, however long it's been so far.
I mean,
I can trust Gege to do, like, now that he's, proven himself with this fight a little bit. I can trust him to, like, not be an idiot all the time. I have to account for some idiocy.
Yeah.
But I think we can get 50 to 60 more chapters. I think that's sort of like my personal estimate of the least we're getting from JJK. I don't imagine us getting much less than 50.
I want to lock in at like a very, 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 very weak 300 guess. Like he's
getting 300 more chapters, yes sir.
No, they're like up to chapter 300. Like I think he's gonna kiss that number, take it out to dinner, but I don't think he's gonna quite reach it, or like
about 60. So about 60 chapters.
Yeah, roughly.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Chapter 50, we're getting some backstory for Hayden era. Bro, the Hayden era, like, I don't know what to call it. Denial? Like, I think everybody should give up hope about that happening, right? Hear me out. Not being a negative Nelly, just listen to the end, all right? I think we should all give up and then be pleasantly surprised if he gives us 2 chapters of it. Because really, that's what JJK is all about.
I think it's hilarious how one of the main talking points in the community is how we need to give up hope on things. Like Nobara coming back, like the Heian era flashback, Sumiki meaning a damn thing. Like everybody's just got to give up hope on everything, huh?
I mean,
not me. No, I'm stuck in my delusion. At least for a couple of things.
Yeah.
Miwa cooking, Kashimo cooking, Megumi cooking.
I mean, I will say there will be a new era this podcast enters into if or when Gojo dies. I will be inconsolable. I might be vengeful, I have been checking airline tickets to Japan.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry to cut you off. Like, I really do apologize, right? But just the thought of you being, like, vengeful actually made me chuckle. Like, it made me laugh. It's just such a non-threatening sort of, like, prospect. You know what I mean?
Like a little chihuahua.
It's like an angry SpongeBob. It's like, oh no, I made him mad. Okay.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that.
Bro said, I'm gonna listen. If Gege's not careful, I'm gonna get angry. I'm like, okay, fine. That's Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, my goat no Caliber X4, I think of the 5. My goat Nobara is coming back. Gege's just taking his time. Hey, listen, bro. I'm gonna say this. I've like because Nobara is not my goat, I'm like very loosely holding on to that idea.
Yeah, I mean, Nobara.
But
Why would she be your goat? Interesting.
That's a good question, to be honest. But like I loosely like hold on to the idea that she's coming back. But I will just say, Gege's got some fucking like he's got some legwork to do if he's gonna make
Yeah.
Nobara come back, and that'd be cool. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it'd be cool just to see her back because I like Nobara's character.
I'm
I
gonna need
like the
3
way she interacts
chapters
with them.
minimum to like justify her coming back. Like the explanation, the justification, and the execution. That's the bare minimum count that Gege needs to hit with Nobara's comeback.
And personally, right? Personally, if we're assuming, which we don't have to, but if we're assuming we're working on like a very limited amount of supply of JJK, Nobara's comeback, I'm sorry. For me personally, assuming we only get like 60 chapters, which we could definitely get more,
Bro, that
right?
shit's getting left on the cutting room floor. Like,
I would just say this. I'm not even saying it is. I would say if I were making the decisions, I would leave it on the cutting room floor. There are some other things. There are some other things that need to be put into motion before Nobara coming back, right? Because like here's the way I look at it, right? She's been gone for this long. Why bring her back? Why bring her back now is nuts. But it's more so like
no, why
it's
bring her
more
back
so, like,
now is like accurate.
it's more like I can make do. You know what I mean? I've half grieved. I want her to come back. I think she could come back, but have made do with the possibility that she hasn't. There are some characters that I can't, and I'm not interested in making do with the idea that there's not more in store for them. Obviously, you guys know what characters this applies to. We don't need to do this whole song and dance, but yeah. Guys, we have to move on. Let her rest.
That's crazy.
BR, you made the video. Why would you give up? Give me hope just to lose it? I'm not giving up hope. But it also, keep in mind, that video is like 2 years old. Like, I'm gonna put it like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is no like statute of limitations on a theory, but like, I'm just saying, there is hope quietly though. Like,
yeah.
just hope.
There's a statute of limitations on believing
it.
it like intensely, right? That shit fades a little bit.
Just a little bit. Like, listen, believe Nobara's coming back. Like, cause I'll put it like this, right? If Nobara is to you what Megumi is to me, no matter what I say, you need to stand staunch in your beliefs, right? It could be 10. If JJK were to go for 10 years and Megumi wasn't back, I'd be saying like a fucking old hermit, you will see, guys, he's coming back soon, right? So like, honestly, if that's what Nobara is for you, if she's your goat, bro, I'm gonna be real. You need to be delusional in the face of defeat, right? Just stand proud, bro. You're delusional, and that's okay. I'm delusional too, bro. That's what we need to be. Hold hands, right? You stand firm in your beliefs, and if you're one of the lucky few, you will be rewarded. If you're not, that's rough, but you know, at least you'll know you stood firm in your beliefs. Why'd I just give that fucking
you give a sermon,
ass speech, bro?
Don't give up.
It don't give up hope.
Like, damn, that felt a little like. You want to talk about something? Like, bro,
no,
bro, we can kick Liv out and like you and me can just talk. If it'll make you more comfortable.
You're an interesting guy, but yeah, I mean, listen, Delulu is the Salulu. I can respect. You know what? I can respect that, bro. I can respect that anthem. This really is Gojo talking to Megumi right now. It's like fucking be more selfish. Just listen, bro. Listen.
He's.
I mean.
Hopium is fucking hilarious. This truly was our Jujutsu Kaisen. Damn straight. Straight.
Do you guys think that Gege is gonna do anything with like the global aspect of stuff? And I'm not saying the military portion. I just mean like the global aspect.
Oh, because the fight's being live streamed and all that. Probably. You know what I think? I think it depends on like what Kenjaku's like monster thing is. At the end of the Culling games, like if it's a worldwide problem, I think it'll have a different effect than like, the like you know how in Chainsaw Man the thing with the gun devil is like they all made an arms race over it or whatever. I think it might be similar. just right now, if the Culling games was just to end next chapter, Gojo 1, that's it, end of series in like 3 chapters, knock wood, you know, Gege and all that. But if it's like this massive kaiju is in the sky terrorizing humanity, it'll be like, oh no, we need it to like defend ourselves from these creatures from like hell. So I don't know. It may same results, but maybe different motivation.
I just have this idea that say Kenjaku cleans house in all of the barriers in the Culling games, and while this fight is happening, he's out there starting the merger, and of course sorcerers don't know about it. They can't feel it. They have no idea. Plus they're inside the Culling game barriers. And as soon as this fight ends, he's just going to be saddled up on that thing outside waiting.
Yeah.
Like, this is also a perfect opportunity. I mean, you've got the whole world at the TV watching magic people fight.
Yeah. Especially if one of them's like a gorgeous demigod like Gojo, right? It's like doubly like, whoa, there's people like that out there? Makes sense.
Bro, hop off. Why you, bro? Take a break, zip him up, wipe your mouth, like clean yourself
bro,
up,
there's
man.
no days
toss
off.
you a fucking towel, bro.
There's
Just like,
no days off, bro. You know how serious this Gojo Blaze is.
He's not even the actual demigod in the situation. That's crazy.
Oh, who, you mean that fraud, that bum that's barely standing up right now? You mean that guy?
I mean, demigods have been known to be bums too. If you read Percy Jackson, you would know. I have no room to say that. I have not read it. But
yeah,
I felt like maybe I
whoa,
would say it.
I burned.
Liv, you and I are supposed to be unionized on that front. You can't just like scab like that on me.
No, both
I have
both
full
of you guys.
intentions of reading it.
Liv, come on. Like, I have full intentions
not
of reading it too.
against
Wink,
it.
wink, nudge, nudge, right? Like, I know what people like us live. Like,
Dreams, you have to read it.
Whoa.
Let me make a buster call real quick. All right, let me we can talk, right? We can get you to read that thing, all right?
Okay, let's not go crazy.
And I can call in a buster call for Liv to read it too, all right?
Yeah,
I'm
but
allowing you guys to exist without reading it.
Right.
I want you guys to gravitate towards it of your own free will. What am I? Okay. Yeah, you got to read that. You got to read
okay.
Calibre X4's donation.
Angel of Access, thank you for the 2. Love the couples therapy here. You know, it's good. I think so too. Me and BR are working through a lot right now. So I appreciate it. Calibre X4, thank you for the 2. Kreams is the one without the gag reflex. Listen, buddy.
No. That wombo combo is crazy. No.
Listen, buddy.
There is a hard period. There's like space, right? And then he's talking. Jesus Christ, man! What are we doing here? What are we really doing here?
You know, BR, I'm starting to feel a little hurt by how you're reacting to this. You know?
Only now? Damn it! I'm not doing my job well enough, then, bro. Clearly.
Look,
clearly, no.
I think this is something you and I can work through, right? Together.
Oh Jesus. No, bro.
Again, bro,
not
like
at all.
you don't have to keep, like, we can just like end stream kick Liv out of here and just like hash this out ourselves, you know?
No, I don't. I don't think I will be doing that. No, thank you. But I appreciate the offer. I appreciate the offer.
And
no,
I
no,
appreciate you seriously considering it and like really wrestling over it, you know? Like I appreciate how difficult that decision was for you.
Yep.
And that if given a similar choice in the future, you would like, obviously you're filled with regret, disgust, etc. And like next time I make the offer, you'd easily make the correct decision, right?
So I tweeted something out, right? The other day, right? Obviously different from the curse technique thing. And I want you guys to hash this out for me.
Okay. So
because this is like, yeah, of course.
See what
where
I deal
does
with, Liv?
Yuta versus Sendai rank all time JJK fights for you? And while you guys
Top
argue, I'm going to use the bathroom.
Top
be
5.
specific. Be what fight is it under? What fight is it just over? And elaborate. I'll be back.
Fine.
You're a jerk. Okay, go ahead.
Liv, you see what I put up with? I mean, I don't know how much longer I can take this, you know?
Well, you're gonna have to.
Well, that's not. You don't.
I mean,
you don't.
hey, bro, you would not believe what Lou was saying while you were gone, bro.
What, Lou? You say Lou?
I said Liv.
No. Anyways, you don't have to keep putting up with it, by the way. Just to let you know, you can at any time say, you know what, I'm done. And I will, I woefully agree. But I'm going to use the bathroom now.
Anyway. Liv, it's kind of messed up that you're not showing me any solidarity, right? It's kind of crazy, kind of in character for
la-
you. I should have known. My bad. Not very.
Last I knew, my vote didn't count, so I'm
No,
just here to
it
supervise.
counts now.
And you know, oh, it's now.
Yeah,
So
wait.
we're
What's
women's
your
suffrage
what's
in
your
the
opinion?
timeline.
Hold on.
Okay.
What's your opinion, real quick? Just let me double check that.
Sweet Jesus. Okay, so
my side. Okay, you do have a vote.
where is the Yuta
Damn.
fight?
Not getting ignored
terms
by the therapist too. What do I even pay you for? Okay. You know what, guys? Let me give you my top 5.
Thumbnails.
The objective top 5. Thank you for those, by the way. So for me, Yuta's is probably like my 3rd or 2nd favorite fight. Like jokes aside. There's something about like the ending to it, the whole like his gaze melted Yuta's heart, because I'm like, damn.
I bet you did like that.
Yeah, it's just like it's funny seeing Yuta smile, man. Like he's such
Yuta having fun fighting is a treat.
It really is. Yeah.
That's definitely a treat. And honestly, I would probably put that fight over Sakurajima in terms of like momentum and how it felt to read week to week. Sakurajima wasn't a whole lot of fun to read week to week. Like flat out, like I love Maki. But like that was a lot of forest, a lot of trees, a lot of school rooftops, and then, you know, not knowing if Naoya was going to turn into a butterfly or not, and the fandom was crazy, and I care too much about Maki, so yeah.
Actually, you know, while I have you, speaking about that fight real quick, right? It was so crazy that Gege made Curse Spirit Naoya, like, just sort of turn back into what he looked like as a human. He even had his earrings on when he, like...
Bro, he's like a Nenbeast!
Like, that's so weird. That's so weird. Like, why? Were they...
Like, okay... I think, okay, we can talk about this. This is Hunter x Hunter. We can talk about let's bond over this, Kreams.
Okay.
Literally, what happened in Naoya is like, if you wrap the 4th prince in his Nenbeast, it's like Nenbeasts look like their personality, what their soul is. So it's like when Naoya was reborn as the Vengeful Curse, he literally looked like misogyny. Like, you know how you were talking at the beginning of stream about floppy, flop, flop? That's what he looked like. And then his face emerges, and sure, it's like his ego, and his nose is big, and he still kind of looks like a weasel, and he's got all these, I don't know what those were around his face when he first came out of the worm, but
he looked grimy, like just.
And then his domain expansion too was all misogyny based.
Yeah, then why did he like restore his human form, right? Because like if the intent is to make him, you know, appear as disgusting as like he was on the inside, which was my interpretation when he got like transformed, right? I also thought it was like a passive power system thing where it's like, oh yeah, if you're not killed by something with cursed spirit, if a sorcerer is not killed with something with cursed energy, they reincarnate as a cursed spirit or like a vengeful spirit, and it like the process makes them like hideous or blah blah blah. But for Naoya, it just seemed like, no, that was just like, you know, his butterfly phase, his womb phase.
The point is that Naoya couldn't get any more gross than what he was.
The point
That's as gross as he could have been.
Okay, but what if we think about it like in like, you know, reincarnation terms? Because if we think about it like the circle of life type of a thing, he started as human, he had a chance as human, was reborn as disgusting as his soul died, and then he had 3 evolutions and ended up, you know, a half mermaid type of thing. But I think maybe if Maki wouldn't have cut him in half, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Maybe he would have been a full human.
Maybe his like growth was artificial. Maybe he forced himself out of the egg before he was done, you know, baking.
What if curses can make their way back to humanity? What if that's possible in JJK?
Did you see Choso's conversation with Yuki? We actually know that that's confirmed.
Cool. So that's what I'm hoping for Kamo. I want Kamo to be able to do things like that. Like,
I want Kamo
become a curse intentionally.
First of all, that's hilarious. Second of all, I imagine a Kamo curse buff would make him like as on par with Choso right now. Kamo's kind of not a bum, but he's a relic, right? Grade 1 sorcerers stopped being relevant after like Goodwill.
Well, that's why he needs, you know, the.
Like that, bro. Relax.
No. First of all, it's Goat Sakabe. Watch yourself. Second of all, he's just there advising, coaching from the shadows like the goat he is.
Yeah, I'm pro Kamo doing some cool shit. burn away your ashes, blah blah blah, whatever you said when you were fighting Aoya. Real, lock in. Um, but so is this in relation to your guys' Sendai ranking?
Yeah.
Or do you guys just?
I basically said
It's above
number.
Sakurajima.
I mean, I'm not gonna say duh because of our company. All right, I'm not gonna say duh because of our company, but I'll say this, Kreams. I would have expected you to do this off of instinct. But yeah, okay. So over Sakurajima, but not by much for you, Liv. I'm assuming.
No, actually, I was the one that said that it's over Sakurajima.
Oh, Kreams, you were the one in opposition to this idea.
No, he agreed, I think.
Oh,
I did.
we agreed on something. Yeah. So do you guys both have a top 5 then?
I think number 1 for me is probably. Oh, fuck. What is my favorite fight in JJK? I mean, Gojo's fights aren't really fights, and I don't know if I have Gojo versus Sukuna up as my favorite. That's crazy. Kashimo and Hikari is number 3. Then Yuta's versus Sendai is number 2. Number 4 is you know what? My favorite fight is probably Yuji versus Mahito. There you go.
That should be everybody's.
I got there in the end. 4 and 5 pretty interchangeable. Just Yuji and Megumi's fights. And what do you call it? Tokyo Colony. There we go. Number 1. Yeah.
Cool. Where's Sendai ranking? Like, what is it near? I guess I'm kind of curious where Sendai places for you, Liv.
Sendai might be like number 2 or 3 for me. I would actually put Megumi and Reggie's fight pretty on par with it, either right below it or maybe right above it.
W.
Mahito versus Yuji and Toto is probably gonna stick up there for a while. I did really enjoy the Maki and Yuji versus Sukuna little scuffle, but that was just a tiny scuffle, so I don't know if I can put it in a top 5. Choso versus Yuji, pretty fucking fantastic.
From a visual standpoint, definitely one of Gege's best.
Oh god, that just blew my fucking brains out. And then the use of like Mekamaru popping up at the right time and going to the bathroom, that's just genius. There's only one way to deal with a blood manipulator, especially when he's a curse, and Mekamaru chimed in at the right time. Got 5 points back from me. Is that 5 yet?
No. Well, you don't need your top 5. I'm just kind of curious where Sendai Colony ranks for you. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, all right? I realized I was thinking that I'm like, damn, I really wish I had a platform to have a dialogue about my thoughts about Gojo versus Sukuna in a nuanced fashion. I'm like, wait a minute, I have a YouTube channel and a podcast. I can talk about stuff there. So I'm curious, right? Because I think you guys probably share similar opinions, but like for different reasons. Liv, you're probably looking at it more holistically. Cream's probably just looking more at Gojo. Okay. Gojo. Let me ask you this.
Gojo.
I'm gonna ask this as a series of questions, right? Is Gojo versus Sukuna your top 1? And if it is your top 1, elaborate. If it isn't, tell me the secret sauce it's missing that isn't putting it there. Because it can't be length. Okay. Right?
I'm gonna serious answer or meme answer?
Serious answer.
Okay. The stakes are super unclear. One of the main things that I think I dislike about Gojo versus Sukuna is that, not even dislike, but it's something that's preventing me from locking in as much as I want to, is what's at stake if either of them wins or loses is comically dramatic to the point of being like, you know the meme, Gojo can't win because if he does, then it's a wrap for the series. Kenjaku goes bye-bye in the first panel of the next chapter off screen type shit. And if Sukuna wins, then it's unless they all jump him instantly and spamming domains and their strongest attacks off rip, it's they're not winning a 2v1 Sukuna, Meguna versus and Kenjaku against them. So it feels dark ending to JJK. I think if there was less writing on it, or at least I feel like Gege's set aside. Let's be charitable here, right? Serious answer. I feel like Gege set aside the stakes of the Culling games for this fight, and I don't know to what end, and it's sucking the enjoyment out of it because nothing feels as believable as like Yuta and Sendai Colony. There was no lies behind like the win cons for either person, right? Like they were fighting to the best of their abilities, and like whoever won got the points, whoever lost like died, kind of thing. So I don't know. There's less honesty in Gojo versus Sukuna.
Got you. Okay. Liv, your answer.
Okay, so the importance of this fight to me, and I hope I don't. I might be about to piss a lot of people off. The importance of this fight to me is just to keep the ball rolling. I know that it's been said and hyped up since chapter 1 that Gojo was gonna fight Sukuna, but literally what that means to me is, not to be ironic, but I guess to be ironic, is this is just another cog in the clock here. Like we're just moving things forward with this fight, and the big ball drops as soon as this fight ends.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, like Kreams said, like exactly, it determines a lot of things, but also like Ronan said, I look at things really holistically, and I'm like, what does that mean for the next piece of plot? Like the next piece of plot is literally going to be chaos again, no matter who wins or loses. We still got a whole bunch of shit to deal with. So if this ends, it's not like we get to go home and have cake. It's not like we get to go home and like congratulate anybody. There's more work to be done, and it's arguably more unknown than what we just got through. So that's kind of what it is to me. It's anticipation. It's a nonstop anticipation build, and I kind of expect the end of the fight to be kind of the ball dropping, or Kenjaku's bomb dropping, whatever. But that's when the things for the main cast, which no, Gojo's not the main character. He's not.
Yeah. Also, there's like another aspect to this that's sort of metatextual. I don't know if you guys have thought about it, but it's like, you know that theory that says, what if Yorozu's item is like a sensu bean and it restores Sukuna to like full health? I don't know about you guys. I personally hate that because I don't like the idea of having the last 15 chapters or damn near 2 volumes of this manga that's on something of a time crunch, you know, as stated by the manga, to not be for any reason. Like, you could stretch it out and say, oh, they learned like barrier tricks or, you know, blah blah blah, when it's time for them to tag in after Gojo like dies or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, there's some element to it that, putting the meat munching hat aside, right, taking the bib off, for example, there's a part of me that's like, I feel cheated. Like,
do you actually think that's what it is, or what it even could? No. I don't see that anywhere.
Yeah,
in the realm
I
of
don't. But like,
possibility.
it's something that like I've thought about as like a, because you know it's like an actual prevailing thing that people are talking about, like what Yorozu's item is.
People believe that?
Yeah, that's a real thing. So it just, yeah, it's just been like something like that. Like, I don't want the fight to mean nothing.
To me, what Yorozu's item is, and like the reason that it was kept secret, is because it's going to be a gamble for Sukuna too. Like, to me, that just sort of makes sense. Like, he hasn't used it yet, so obviously it's not something that's in his regular arsenal anymore, or at this point, or maybe it only has a one-time usage. But I see it being something that he doesn't feel comfortable using, and if he uses it, he has to be backed into a corner. But a full health bar type of a situation would kind of, yeah, I would feel cheated too if I were you.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now, Liv, I want to ask a question based off of what you said. You said that Gojo versus Sukuna just feels like another piece of the puzzle, another cog in the machine, whatever, right? And like the ball is really going to drop after this fight. And I'm kind of curious, when is the last time the ball has really been dropped in JJK to you? Like, we've really had like, this has changed the course of the entire series, in your opinion? Because I feel like if Gojo versus Sukuna isn't that, we haven't seen that for years, right?
Okay.
If this fight isn't that, then what is what I'm kind of curious about.
I suppose I would explain that JJK's timeline is like a series of ball drops almost. Like Kenjaku, Gojo's ceiling, Kenjaku's reveal, Um,
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, oh, go. Sorry.
Tengen's death, and that whole thing. Sukuna switching bodies. So I think that this is going to also bring a piece of progress, if that makes any sense. Like whatever's going on with Megumi, something will be learned from this. Like the fight at the end of it will come away with information, even if Sukuna has a sensu bean. Even I don't read DBZ. I don't know what a sensu bean is. I just know it makes you go grr. But even if Sukuna has that and he gets away and Arame, takes care of him for the rest of eternity and we have to hunt him down, we're still going to have a better idea of how Megumi's doing in there, what he can handle, and that Black Flash's work. So this was kind of like a training lesson in my mind, like Gojo's very first good lesson to the kids. Like this is how you fight these monsters. This is what works against them. This is what doesn't. And I mean, imagine how many Black Flashes Yuji's gonna whoop the shit out of Sukuna with now. Like it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the simple answer for me as to why it's not like one of my favorite JJK fights. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's just lacking aura. It's lacking passion. It's lacking like it's lacking what you see in a Yuji versus Mahito, right? You that's hate. You know what I mean? That's hate.
So the
Yuji
personal
hates
investment.
Mahito bad. Like that is and Mahito just keeps making it worse, right? In Yuta versus Sendai Colony, right? You have Justice Once. You have Ishigori's whole character of like, bro, please, somebody just stop this fucking boredom, man. Holy shit. And Yuta, that whole thing is about that, right? You have like, and it climaxes with like the, Ishigori's gaze melted Yuta's heart, blah, 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 right? That's passion, that's whatever, right? There's a sort of intensity that I think is very hard to replicate. Like, I'll just say this personally, and I like, for a lot of it, it's personality. Gojo and Sukuna don't have as much beef naturally, nor was it manufactured in this fight to me to give me the vibes of like, holy shit. Not just because I think objectively this is probably as big of a scale as Gojo getting sealed, right? But like, I don't. How's the way to put it? I don't feel the personal stakes, right? It's very much like they shit talk a little bit, they go back and forth a little bit, right? They definitely do. But there's I think Kreams, like you said, like a lack of personal investment. Even if you're a really big Gojo fan or if you're a really big Sukuna fan or both, I'd be very interested like to talk to people that are like, I mean, obviously Kreams, you're an example, but like you seem to agree with me that like their back and forth doesn't have the same motion that like Yuji and Mahito does. And obviously, right, Yuji and Mahito is a little bit different, but like even to me, Yuta and Ishigori or Hikari and Kashimo, Yuta doesn't hate Ishigori. Ishigori doesn't hate Yuta. Hikari doesn't hate Kashimo. Kashimo doesn't hate Hikari. But the vibe between them in a much shorter time is, to me, more entertaining.
Yeah. Also, there's another thing. This fight is a lot quieter than a lot of the other JJK fights because there's less. They do have interactions, Gojo and Sukuna, but it's mostly just like, you're gonna die. No, you're gonna die. Right. That's like the bulk of it.
Yeah, like I'm stronger. No, you're stronger. Like whatever.
Right. So there's less like back and forth like that, and a lot of the stuff that you get from their inner monologues is just like a strategy that they're going to use. So it really is just like two competitors going at it like very professionally almost, whereas I feel like and please feel free, let me know what you guys think of this, right? I feel like if this was a Gojo versus Kenjaku fight and it was like a chapter long, I would get a lot more personal satisfaction out of that interaction. You know what I mean?
100% agreed. And that's to me why I think almost you could put most every other character that is alive right now against Sukuna, and by most I really just mean Yuji or Megumi or someone that's been affected by Sukuna directly. Like, I'll put it like this: Yuji versus Sukuna, the last time we see them like interact like that, which is like 214, 215, that those two chapter combo has more specific back and forth aura than this, right? Not to say it's a better fight overall, right? Because more than just character makes up the fight, but I think like Yuji just screaming Sukuna alone had me more personally invested in everything that was going on between them than like Sukuna calling Gojo ordinary, or Gojo being like, "This is my infinity," or whatever the fuck he's been saying, right? Whatever you think he's been talking about.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of how I feel, and that to me is JJK. Almost every fight is like well structured from the power system, or like it's well structured in terms of like the choreography or the art or blah blah blah, right? That is sort of the baseline thing. What separates a certain fight, or like what separates certain fights from others, is like the character interactions or the dynamics or the narrative, or how they're like growing from fighting each other. And to me, because Gojo and Sukuna are basically at their respective peaks, they don't grow from fighting each other, but they also don't hate each other either. There's not like a
They literally, it's just a strength contest. Like Gojo's there just out of a sense of obligation, and Sukuna is there to like satisfy a curiosity, I guess.
Yeah, and even with Sukuna, it doesn't really seem like that to me personally. Like I'll put it like this: Ishigori felt like he was yearning for more excitement than Sukuna has here, right? Sukuna sort of the closest thing we get the Yorozu statement, obviously, right? And then we have Sukuna say to Mahoraga like he says the same thing he says to Megumi, right? Impress me, show me something, entertain me, sort of thing, right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but it feels a little bit lacking. And it's not like it makes the fight bad, because I don't necessarily think Gojo versus Sukuna is going to be the best fight in the series, and it doesn't have to be. I think it's really good at what it's attempting to do, it seems like. I just think that's what stops it from being that peak JJK for me. That like the bars are cool, right? Sukuna for the first time in 1,000 years felt nervous or some shit. Cool, right? But like, let me. This might be blasphemous, right? I gotta ask you guys, because maybe you disagree. Is there seriously a bar in this chapter, or not in this chapter, in this fight, that in the moment hit you as hard as sheer lethality? I'm genuinely curious. And I say that because sheer lethality is such a throwaway line in the grand scheme of things. I'm curious.
The closest one would probably be, oh man. And I'm really...
You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad. Like, the fight isn't bad. I want to clarify. Just like, I don't dislike it. I'm not disappointed, right? But it's like sheer lethality is like, why is that as hard as, or harder than a lot of the things we've gotten in Gojo versus Sukuna? To me, right?
Okay. There's okay. The my technique is overwhelmingly stronger was cool. That was cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, but I think that's the only one that sticks out like right away. Okay. The lack of passion, or not even the lack of the character's passion. Let me be clear there, right? Doesn't seem like it's intentional, to be honest with, like, because Gege keeps like sprinkling the Yorozu true strength, the solitude it brings with both of them, and Gojo's like, oh, I can't remember the last time I had this much fun, and I'm just like, you're fucking with me, right, Gege? Like, come on, bro. Like, we know this isn't like earned. Like, be for real. They could just be having fun, but like we don't have to like take it there.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, it's hard because I feel like I need to sit down with my thoughts and really like just fucking write them out, because it's so interesting. It's like, I don't know if Gege is trying to do it or not, because I'm gonna be real, right? I think personally, if Gege wanted to, he could. If that makes sense, like there's no logistical reason he couldn't, right? Gojo by all means has reason to hate Sukuna. Megumi's taken over, ruined Yuji's life, like colluded with the guy who got him sealed, and like the guy who's taking over his best friend's body, right? He doesn't have to hate him as much as Kenjaku, but there can be distaste there, right? And for Sukuna honestly works best when he's just opposing somebody that really fucking hates his guts. You know what I mean? Sukuna does not have to hate Gojo. In fact, I don't think Sukuna hates anybody in the story, but like his equal disdain towards everybody works very well when you have somebody like trying to sort of punish him for that.
Yeah, or try to understand. Yeah, like Yuji's the best example. I think Sukuna's dynamic is strongest with him because Yuji just he can't stand him. But it's one of those rare occasions where Sukuna, like, he can't stand Yuji either, right? For every other character, it's like a neutral disdain. For Yuji, it's it's special. There's like a little
You're particular.
yeah.
You're garbage, but like you got a little bit of extra something there.
Mhm.
I get that. I get
Like,
that.
dude, that punch, that was the first thing he did when he reincarnated Megumi's. Like, you know what I
He
mean?
hit him with a nasty
Yes.
punch. That was honestly so gross,
It
bro.
was so.
I remember seeing
'cause,
that. I'm like,
bro,
wow.
you could
that's,
feel Sukuna like, I've been waiting so long for that. You know, like you feel how much he's been like thinking about it, dreaming about it. Like,
mm,
there's a part of Sukuna that I think revels in like specifically tormenting Yuji.
mhm. I think I can agree. I think I can agree with that. I think I can agree with that generally. Where should I put this? It's just interesting though. It's just an interesting thing to observe. A lot of people are bringing up some cool lines like Gojo saying he'll bring Sukuna closer to death and like the detention center, and that's cool. Like none of these lines are lacking. Like none of them are bad, but it just some of them,
They
a
lack
lot of
the,
them
like,
to me, the fucking punch. Like don't get me wrong. If you like it that much, you like it that much, right? I'm not arguing with you. I'm only speaking from like personal experience. But the thing is like Gege just showed off that he can do it, right, with Yuji versus Sukuna. He has the ability to really evoke that sort of visceral emotion. I don't think he like lost it. It could very well be that that Gojo versus Sukuna is not meant to be that. Maybe minor some few exceptions. Like you see them like kind of making snarky remarks like, you know, let to get a do-over, and he's like, oh, you need another one or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's nice. But I don't know. It's definitely an interesting thing.
Yeah. Jimmy, thank you for the 10. Just want to push my Ishida agenda, so read Shojin X. I think you should have read that one,
Shojin X goated.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ishida goated. Ishida best artist there is. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Just thank you for the alley-oop.
Calibrex4, thank you for the 10. Yuji and Mahito had a connection, a beef to squash. Gojo versus Sukuna feels like another day at work for Gojo. I feel it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's that neutral. I'd say it's like the Olympics or something. You just want to see who's better or who's stronger, who's faster, right? It's about like the sport of it more than it is about like the rivalry there.
What? You've made a good sports analogy, right?
Thank you.
I think like the Olympics, right? If you're not really, you know, the Olympics comes around once every 4 years. If you don't have really a horse in this race, I guess no pun intended. The Olympics for me, like watching a race, will never hit as hard as watching like my favorite NBA team go up against somebody that I know is just really fucking good that we might lose to. There is a very sort of like visceral, like obviously you have the extrinsic motivation of just like if you win, you win. That's good, right? But it's like, no, I want this person particularly to win for X, Y, and Z reason. And every time they don't, or every time it sort of like goes against it, I feel like very caught up in it. But I do think I will give sort of credit to Gege here. That probably is the case for a lot of like super, super big Gojo and Sukuna fans. If you just look at like the agendas being thrown back and forth, people probably do kind of feel that way. I might just not be one of them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like the only time that anything that was said in this fight hit me in the gut was and it's not even like in a, oh my God, that's bar type of a, it's a, oh, that was cool as fuck type of a way. It was when Gojo said, I'm going to blame you for all the damage. It seemed like it feels like they used to be teammates and now they play on different teams and they're playing each other.
I will say I really like that chapter. Yeah.
That's what that feels like. And it's felt like that the whole time. So it's not, none of it is threatening, I guess.
Yeah. I think the real like threatening stuff comes after. When we see like the result of, like I said, right, the stakes are almost like disproportionate to the passion of the fight. So whichever way this concludes, right, whichever like new player enters the fucking field, whether that be the Jujutsu side or Kinchaku and Urame, there will be like I think that fire will be back in a pretty like obvious way.
Yeah, I'm very much a believer that like Gojo will not have the best fight against Sukuna. I pretty staunchly believe that, and I think somebody brought up a point that like Choso versus Kinjaku has more emotional weight or like personal weight, and I would agree. Now, once you introduce a certain blonde special grade with mash manipulation, it gets different, right? But I think purely speaking on Choso, like, listen, this is part of my biases, so like I'll put that out, lay it out in front of you guys. But bro, you hate this guy, so you want to just blow his brains? Like, I can lock in with that. Kenjaku said the reason he's done all of this, he birthed Choso and all of his brothers, he's tormented Yuji. It's all for like some fucking hilarious curse that he doesn't know the outcome of.
Yeah.
And Choso says nothing and just piercing blood, right? He's just like, hey bro, listen, I asked you, you gave me a dumbass answer. I'm gonna try to take your head off now. And I can lock in with that. I like the, you know, Kenjaku's insulting Yuji. Choso gets mad about that shit. And he's like, to me, the taunting hits harder when one of the people is susceptible to it. That might be it. Both of these characters are almost
too confident.
Too calm. They're too calm. They're too confident. So it's like neither of them. It's like when Choso gets, when Kenjaku makes fun of Yuji, right? Choso loses his shit a little bit, right? He's like,
oh, dude, actually,
my brother. Who do you think you're talking to?
It's great that you said that because Kenjaku's specific dynamic with Choso is fucking hilarious because you forget how funny Kenjaku can be sometimes. But when his fight with Choso, right, before Yuki got in there, he was like on a roll. He was like, dude, poison won't kill me. I'm your father.
I'm your dad, bro. Come on, that's not how this works. I like him when you catch him off guard. He's like shit when he shows his new technique because he has to. He's like, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not anything too crazy. It's not out of character, but it's just like
that interaction he had with Kamo,
it.
Dude. That interaction he had with Kamo, he's like,
God, yes, bro. I like that.
Like, dude, Kenjaku can be genuinely funny. And
Sukuna can too.
Yeah, like the thing with Yuji and the fence where he's like, oh, it's so boring, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, he cut you.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
dude, because I thought that shit was cool, and he was like,
I was like, damn, bro, he's getting creative. He's like, yawn, Jesus Christ, bro, fight more like this girl. Like she obviously knows how to throw hands.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt personally attacked when Sukuna
I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, they're both okay, fine, I guess. Punches the shit out of Maki, says nice, punches the shit out of Yuji. He's like, oh my god, what a bitch, bro. I'm like, huh? You what? What's going on here? What's happening? I don't get it. That's hate, bro. And it's funny. It's funny. It's a mix of it's funny in retrospect, right? So it provides long-term value, but it's also gut-wrenching when you're in the midst of reading it. Because it's like he just took your best friend, right? Said, I'm gonna beat your ass with his body. And then in all of your effort to get him back, he's like, hey, he's tapping his homie. Hey, Rame, look at this dumbass. Like, look at the way he's like screaming, trying to get revenge. Oh my God. Like that shit, that's real, bro. That's real. And there's just some of the aura that is lacked with Gojo versus Sukuna to me.
Yeah. Again, not to say the fight is bad. It's really good.
Not bad. Good in a lot of ways, like a technical aspect. Like I think it is very interesting. It's very cathartic to see them fight and go out like this. Don't get me wrong. It's just interesting because I see some people, honestly, a lot of people being like, this is by far the best fight of JJK. And you know, I'm not new to like me disagreeing with the community or like blah blah blah, right? That's not like a new thing, but it is just interesting. So I kind of like talking out sort of the pros and cons of Gojo versus Sukuna to try to figure out what could bring somebody to like have it as their number one.
Yeah. Viper, thank you for the 5. Sukuna hitting Megumi with Gojo's sure hit and the flash of anger on Gojo's face. I need more of that energy. Yeah, that was cool. Where Gojo realized what Sukuna was doing with the wheel. There was like a little flare. I guess, but I think Gojo like rebounded really quickly, to be fair. And he started grinning, started plotting, the Maxim technique, telling Agito like, hey, you're kind of a bum, you shouldn't be here. Like, it's like a
I'll put it like this, right? And this is not a knock towards his character. I'm gonna say this is a very neutral statement because I personally haven't decided whether or not it works to his benefit or detriment, right? Like in terms of my investment. Gojo is often very unemotive in situations you would expect him to be.
You know what I think this is, BR?
The Unsealed Rage.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, not even
obviously,
that.
I precogged it, buddy.
Yeah, not
it.
even that, but like, did you even want, like, okay, did you want him to be angry or did you expect him to be angry? Because there's a difference.
I will both. Like, I think it'd be cool. I think he doesn't have to like pop off in the way that like I imagined, right? But to me, it's not, once again, I'm saying this neutrally. It's just like an observation of something that's the case. But meeting with um Gakuganji and being like, so you kill Yaga, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Is like, it is just a
It's
thing I
wild.
didn't expect,
Yeah.
right? Because that's your teacher. That's the guy who like you confided in, to steal Liv's words. You confided in when Geto was like he defected, right? You asked him for reassurance of your strength, and this guy is standing in front of you, and he killed him, right? He killed him for no reason other than orders, and Gojo like smiles in his face about it, and like that's fine if that's his character, right?
I
It's
mean, for
just
what it's worth, like
interesting.
playing some Gojo defense here, right? The other higher ups are dead, so I think for him
Hmm.
it's like who issued the order is more at fault than Gakuganji for executing it, and he needed Gakuganji to uh, Enoram and Uzihime for the start of the Gojo Sukuna fight. So
So I
maybe yeah.
agree, but I think so. I think you can. Okay, so once again, this is not like it's. I'm not saying the story would be better if Gojo did this. It's a relatively innocuous thing. It's just a microcosm of a general point, right? But I think Gojo can acknowledge, like, it's fine to have Gojo be intelligent enough to acknowledge Gakuganji's prolonged usefulness, while also being upset that he killed somebody who's been a constant in his life for like a decade, right? I don't think those things are mutually exclusive. For example, Yuji is able to acknowledge, especially initially, Choso beat the fuck out of him, right? And he's like, dude, don't follow me around. I'm not your brother. Leave me alone, right? But when he's like, I'll just help you kill cursed spirits, he's like, I can do that. And he kind of, we see the relationship kind of in the background grow a little bit to where he's willing to call him big brother, right? It's initially, you're not just like hunky dory. He caved your chest in, right? Maybe show a little bit of anger. Whereas Gojo just skips to the, yeah, I mean, you're useful, let's go. And I'm not, once again, neutral, who cares, whatever. I think part of that also comes in my really big gripe, like the gripe that could be fixed. I always got to put that here, especially with Liv on the call, right? I always got to put that asterisk of like it just Maki's changed so much. We're seeing Gojo and Yuta reconvene for the first time in a while. Yuji and Gojo, like, you're seeing all of these people. Kashimo seeing the supposed strongest sorcerer alive, right? Like, all of these characters, like Gojo seeing Panda, Inumaki now has one arm, right? All of these different examples of like, hey, you don't have to give me a 20 fucking chapter elaboration of how Gojo talks to each one of these guys. But like, hey man, one of your students is now the person who fucking made you this strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You don't have to acknowledge it, but it's just like interesting to not, I guess.
yeah.
Is sort of where I'm at. And that speaks, I guess, partially to the pacing, but I think I also wonder about like the emotiveness of the character.
Oh, Skinny Boyk, thank you for the 20. Netero versus Meruem. Let's fucking go, Hunter x Hunter. Netero versus Meruem didn't have the same emotional weight as Gon versus P2, but I think from a technical standpoint, it's still the best fight in the series. I think the same thing goes for Gojo versus Sukuna for similar reasons.
I would have rather watched
Yeah.
Netero fight Beyond. That would have been more emotional for me.
I don't know. Beyond isn't really like a character yet, you know? So I don't have as much stake in him as I do somebody like. Whoa, I've never said his name out loud, so forgive this pronunciation. It's probably gonna sound butchered. Sarendik, you know the
Sunderike or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, one of the princes. Yeah. See, he's
yeah.
somebody that like oozes kind of like you know that
Charisma.
yeah, charisma. Yeah.
Bro, he's scary.
Yeah.
But don't spoil. I don't think. I don't know.
I've got 30 chapters left.
Okay, yeah, just keep it vague.
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm gonna
keep it
vague. Yeah,
keep it
but, like,
kosher.
yeah.
But yeah, no, he's scary.
Yeah, Beyond doesn't
He's
like
scary.
Beyond, despite being Netero's son, doesn't really have that like same juice as him.
Well,
Hold
the
on,
reason
I
I
can-
say that is because what?
No, go and continue. I'm just talking to myself.
Oh, the reason that I feel that way is because in the fight, like between Meruem and Netero, he says, "I've always wanted, something that would be enough to make me strike first."
Mhm.
And then we find out from the Zodiacs that they low-key think that Netero always wanted his son to come after his life. So for me, like, Netero did so much post-mortem to restrict Beyond or to kind of foil Beyond's plans or whatever, try to get the Hunter Association to explore the Dark Continent before him. But at the end of the day, it seems like he just kind of wanted a rivalry with his son. Like, he just wanted his son to come for him. And
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool if he had those same sort of like, oh, so my predecessor or my heir or whatever you want to call him is worthy. Like if Beyond would have been the one.
Yeah. I think so. I'll put it like this. I want to make a video on this too, by the way. But like, I do think structurally you can see a lot of Netero versus Meruem and Gojo versus Sukuna. I really like the high level of emphasis on Netero's psyche throughout the entire, or both of their psyches throughout the entire fight. And I think that's probably one of the things that I like executed a little bit more.
So,
But I will say I agree with like the thesis of your super chat, by the
Yeah.
way. Like I generally agree with like the point you're making.
yeah, I do too. I just want to like, you guys mind if I go on a little like, it's serious, but like it's gonna run a little long. So if you guys are like
Right.
cool, okay. So Netero versus Meruem is dissimilar from Gojo versus Sukuna in the main respect that instead of like the hard emotional stake, and don't get me wrong, there's a little bit there with Meruem's name and Netero's like feelings towards his own power, his life, everything he's ever like trained for, and this like newborn ant challenging everything he's ever believed, right? But it takes a back seat to the story or like thematic weight instead, right? So it's not about the journey these two characters have with each other. It's more about like what they represent to each other's sides. And for Netero, you know, the whole checkmate is yours thing, right? It was basically he was already out. He made up his mind on how the fight was going to end before it started, so he was selfishly indulging in the entire process for himself. And if he lost, right, or whatever, it had to end with Meruem's death because he's like an ant. He's like this weird creature, right, that just can't exist. So he was there under the pretense of like this whole big fight, this what it meant to him, blah blah blah. It was all partially real, but as far as like the thematic thing, you know, humans are just bigger monsters than the ants, right? You know, we all know Hunter x Hunter's like big theme there, and I think Gojo versus Sukuna lacks that because you don't get these Sukuna flashbacks or like these Sukuna like sprinkles the same way you did with somebody like Netero. It's not a one-to-one comparison, but like just structurally, right? So you don't have that aspect of it, and for like the thematic element, it's like Jujutsu sorcerers aren't heroes. They're not like the JJK is a lot more linear or like limited in its scope thematically and morally. So it's not that they can't or Gege. This isn't a bad thing, by the way. It's not that Gege is incapable of producing something like that because like duh, right? JJK is great, but it's that Gojo and Sukuna as like the figureheads both operate under the same fundamental philosophy. You know, getting stronger, solitude, etc. Like personally, right? And they're just sort of flexing their respective fruits of their labor to each other. So there's nothing really being opposed thematically. It's just I need to win. No, I need to win. I'm better. No, I'm better. But it's done really, really well. And that's my little take.
So listen, this is about to be really rare, right? I think you made a good point, especially with that last that last point you're making, where it kind of feels like they don't oppose each other in a sense. Obviously, like I hope chat can take this a little bit of, like a nuance, right? It's more like because it's sort of presumed that the way to get stronger is like the mindset that Sukuna and Gojo both have. They're competing to see who executed the mindset better, not whose mindset is better. Does that make sense? So it's I can kind of agree with what you're getting at there. I will say though, that's where I think the major conflict is going to come with like the students, because I think that's like the major difference. Gojo thinks other people can surpass him and has spent his time working towards that. Sukuna doesn't care to do that. He doesn't care to cultivate another generation. So the thematic like clash of ideologies is going to come when you have Yuji and Megumi and Maki and Yuta or whoever, right? Like kind of buck against Sukuna after Gojo's defeat, death, whatever, like whatever you think it is, right? After Gojo is maybe not able to function in the same way he is right now, basically. Yeah. Personally, that's what I'm looking at. But Cody Hut, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Random's fuck. Have either of y'all read Kengan Ashura? I have. Oma the Goat. But yeah, Caliber X4, thank you for the 5. Gege's writing style seems to rely a lot on the let's wait and see mentality. His track record is good, but it does get tiring sometimes. To be fair to him, I think that's every weekly manga to some extent. Like, it's just a necessity of the sort of the approach. But I do agree that it sort of like the way in which Gege writes leaves things possible, but not promised. So you're like, it's like, do I decide to believe in this or not? So I can kind of understand what you're getting at there.
I also imagine a lot of the impatience, unironically, does come from the break week cliffhanger things, because Gege has a habit of doing that. Like somebody like Oda, I know you don't read One Piece weekly, but like the experience is very much like self-contained story, self-contained story, self-contained story. Right, each chapter is sort of treated like that. It does end on something like cliffhangers, but it's not as egregious as with like JJK, right? So, for example, like the way Gege would do it is Gojo getting his like neck sliced, right? That's like a very egregious cliffhanger. And something like this most recent chapter, Gojo won. It's almost like. And then 2-week break. You almost beg for like over analysis at that point, and I guess expectations.
You're playing in my face.
Yeah,
you're playing. It's like, yeah. No, it's over, guys. It's totally over. Totally over. I'm not lying at all. But no, yeah, I get what you mean. Let's see. I think with a 5, Netero versus Meruem is closer to Yuji versus Mahito in my opinion. Same reason as Kreams. Also, Meruem has a way heavier emotional pull / arc than Sukuna. I would not disagree.
Yeah, I see the merit.
Yeah, I see the merit for sure. For sure. You guys have anything else you wanted to bring up? Liv, in particular?
I was gonna call Kreams out because Togashi leaves chapters on the worst cliffhangers I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but you're not like the whole thing is like the reading it weekly, current day of it all.
Sure, but it's the same thing because that was released the same way once upon a time.
I guess
it might even been worse with like if you're only 30 chapters away, that might have been when Togashi was going on.
It was a neutral sort of statement. It wasn't like one is better than the other.
Got you. Just like it is the case that that he's doing this. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Togashi and Araki are gods. Hey, bro.
One of them is.
Hey, bro. Listen, just go ahead and wipe your mouth. But nah, that's great. That's crazy. Sorry. I respect the opinion. It's just funny. But yeah. I don't really have anything else.
Yeah. I think that's it. Pretty good episode. Very fun. Thank you, Liv, for being here.
Appreciate you.
Oh,
appreciate you. Thank you.
Super chat. Wow, in the 11th hour. so just some nerd. Thank you for the 5. Gojo versus Sukuna is about proving a point, and there is a back and forth while Meruem versus Netero, the conclusion was already decided the moment they started. Yes, but you don't know that, right? Like going into it with Meruem versus Netero, like Netero knows that, you don't know that. So the way the fight goes on the first like read, right, is very different from how it goes like the second read, because you have the same context as Netero like going into the reread. It's just my little 2 cents.
What if Sukuna is moving the same way, right? He's like, hey, listen, you really did give me a self-revive, right? I really just wanted to beat you myself. If I couldn't, like, I'm not gonna just fucking die, right? That's kind of a loser move.
Like,
so
I am
gonna
fraud,
heal myself
bro.
back to full.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can't use your domain. I healed myself back to full. My brain's good. I can. So, hey, I will say this: round of applause for the guy that would have been the strongest if I didn't plan around that Tabai, and then, like, maybe not, right? Sensu being your Rosie theory might be in the mud, but it's not like it's never too late because the fight is still ongoing, or rather, one of these characters isn't dead. It is not impossible for Gege to say, you know what? Once again, your idea is my idea, Togashi. Thank you.
In character, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming out.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Liv, for showing up.
Like the stream, guys, appreciate you. We will see you on Thursday for the member stream. So if you want to be there for that, become a member, become an honored one. You also get these nifty little emotes Liv here designed. Here, I'm gonna use.
I did those.
Yeah, I'm gonna use try to get all of them in here. It's like. Yeah.
Make sure you put Tuabaro. Just
don't put Tuabaro. You put Tuabaro.
No, I accidentally put 2 Nobaras. Not enough Aizens and Gojos, but that's whatever.
All the Baros.
But yeah, I think that's everything. We'll see you guys.